What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Live with Lauren and Bryan. Finishing
Hello.
some of this list of your lovely charts. And hopefully we're helping you out and giving you some good advice. How are you?
Oh, I know. I'm
Miss
always
Lauren?
looking over here. Hello.
Doing good?
Hello, Mr. Scarborough.
Hello, Miss Pisces.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Oh, Cody, love you, brother. Good. It was really nice to hang out with you this weekend. It was fun going bowling, and it was fun getting to just get to know you better and spend some
hello,
time.
Path Traveler.
Good stuff.
We have your friend on the
Love
list.
Triber.
Hello, Lana. Yes.
Hello.
Love Triber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we
Here we are. We just got back. Had a little, kind of like a staycation, but not.
We always just take like these, listen, if I find a good deal on an Airbnb, I'm all over that. And is this more so that, your photography skills are
took
just
lots of
on
pictures.
point. And then, yeah.
Lauren's going to be getting up here real soon on her website, her jewelry that she's been making.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm not.
Not wearing any?
No,
Yeah.
I mean one.
Well, anyways, took a bunch of pictures of those.
Yeah.
So if you want custom stuff or stuff that's already up there, it's coming soon.
Yeah, I put a bunch of stuff on my Insta story today. But yeah.
The Divine Decoder on Instagram.
It's like my mother's like, just start selling all that stuff. It's
yeah,
Karen.
Yeah,
This is North Notorious, boo. This is like you manifest and create and collect and then you reveal it. Hello. Moon and Taurus.
Thanks,
yeah.
Nick.
My Gemini mother. Yeah,
it's so funny how many Pisces have a Gemini mother. It's hilarious.
It's so hilarious how many.
It's definitely kind of feels like a trap for Pisces.
Well, it's very karmic.
It is.
It's very karmic.
It is.
Right? That's the square.
Oh, good. Glad, Cindy. I'm glad you got that. Hope that you learn lots. It's a good deal, too.
Yeah.
$55. A lot of content for $55.
Yes, Elizabeth, and you see that we're doing your chart first. Okay, so I'm glad that you're in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just feel like, right? Like I always was like, I gotta follow my Leo North Node, which really, it's like, that. Thank God that's the only planet I got in the 12th.
It's not even a planet.
Thank God. Right. And so it's my North Node, and it's like, right. It's behind, even though my 6th house is behind the scenes, Aquarius, as a makeup artist and all that. It's like, I just like to make people look and feel better. Like, and then I'll just spread my magical wisdom, and I'm just a guide anyways as a projector. Yeah. So I'm not supposed to be front stage and center. Like, that doesn't make me comfortable. It's 12th house. I like to be... I love doing this,
you need
but
time for solitary confinement in a way.
Yeah.
To be creative and express yourself.
Yeah. If anything, I'm like following my midheaven.
Oh yeah, 29 Taurus.
Yeah, that's what right. I want to make people look and feel better in every way, whether that is through styling, makeup, hair, jewelry, slanging some, wisdom. It's all ties together. It does, right? Mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. Yeah.
It does indeed. All tied together.
Yeah. So.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody's feeling good.
Yeah. Are you going to do, I was thinking about this today, are you going to do a all signs for the lunar? Yeah. That's the one that the lunar. Yeah. And I got to tell you, when we start to do our like podcast, like when this turns into more of like, you know, questions and answers and stuff, it's like, because people always ask all the time, like, what is it, you know, psychic? What does that mean? And it's like, gosh, this week is like intuitive hits like crazy for me, and they have all manifested in some way. So I'm like, you just have to trust yourself. That's what being psychic is. You just got to trust yourself. And Jupiter's hitting all my progressed vertex, Mars. And I was like, oh, that's, yeah, expanding in my 8th. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Expanding the 8th. Woo!
God, yeah. Yeah, that 8th house. I know.
It can be a lot of things.
I know. But I'm telling you, I was like, why am I getting these feelings out of nowhere of like, why am I feeling this or this? And then it's like, oh, that's why. Yeah. So y'all should that's the message today. Just trust. I mean, right? Doesn't Spider-Man have spidey senses? Isn't that his gift in the comic?
Yeah, that might be one of the best like superpowers there is. Because really, it's just intuition. And he just feels it.
Yeah, anybody in the upcoming lunar eclipse that has anything at like, what, I think it's going to be at 12?
15.
Oh, 15 to 20 of Taurus, Scorpio. Woo! You're Pluto. It's on your fucking Pluto.
Square my nodes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to be feeling, I don't know, but I love lunar energy because I have so much moon energy in my chart. I love lunar more than solar. I feel like it's very Phoenix rising. I don't know why. And I know that might not have anything to do with it. I feel like lunar energy to me is very scorpionic. I don't know.
No, this lunar energy is every bit scorpionic.
I know. I love it.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting. Like, maybe I'll pull this up because I just think that it's...
Oh, yeah.
It's something that I find interesting.
I love that.
Stuff.
Let me Oh, thank you, Pat. Yeah, Leonard, the Path Traveler. Worked on Metaphysical Fair. Oh, that sounds like fun, Lana. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I can find
I
what
definitely
I'm
resonate with all my
here.
draconic. And I'm all Scorpio in my draconic. Some people do, some people don't. I highly resonate with my draconic chart. Hopefully it's good and not bad. I got a lot of Scorp. Oh. Anybody that's got anything from 15 to 20 degrees of Scorpio or Taurus, woo! Yeah, you're going to be feeling it. You're going to be feeling that.
I was hoping it'd be easier to pull up the image I wanted to show. Maybe I'll just go to Netflix. So it's in regards to The Weeknd, who put out a live on Netflix. Oh God, turn off. A while, a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever. It was a live he did in Los Angeles that was filmed for a Netflix show.
Yeah.
But
how he had all the this is how, and you've been saying this is how you feel that the lunar eclipse is going to be like. I mean, look, it's nothing's neither bad nor good. I mean, we all have to go through every 6 months, right? Like, there's going to be a solar and a lunar every year.
Maybe they took it down.
And so it's just, it brings every year you're going to hear this is fated times, destined times, fated times. Yes, because it's putting us on a whole new course. This one is, very...
Apparently,
it's Scorpio energy. So it is death and rebirth. And it's only for our highest good. I mean, you can't, we can't spiritual bypass change. Oh, well, yeah, Nick, I mean, listen, if you're a North Node Taurus, you've been going through it since January 18th of last year for your highest good, though. So it's like, what changes have occurred, you know?
I feel
like it people don't want to go to their north node, but that's where it's been pushing you.
I feel like some Mandela effect just happened in my life.
You what?
I feel like some like Mandela effect just happened because I'm like trying to look for the stage that was on that
Oh, have they taken it down?
live, and it's not on Netflix anymore.
Well, can't you just
And
Google it?
I Googled it,
Oh.
and I'm not finding the stage anywhere, so I'm like,
And North Node Taurus is strong. I mean, listen, you know, who knows? It could be squaring everything in your chart, so I don't know. But North Node Taurus, people that have North Node Taurus, I mean, they're supposed to build solid fucking foundations. That's for sure. But right, but then you have the South Node in Scorpio, where the desires and the passions and the obsession and, you know, all that, you know, lives. So it's like going from one extreme to the other. Like, think of the nodes of Taurus and Scorpio. Taurus ruled by Venus and value and self-worth and all of that, and desires in a different way. And
right.
Scorpio, Pluto. It's like a Venus. Your nodes are Venus and Pluto. Venus, Pluto. That either retracts or repels. Okay, you found it. Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna turn the volume off because Netflix will get all pissy at me.
But tell them why you're showing this.
Okay, so over here to the right, you're gonna see there's this big blood moon. So what is a lunar eclipse? It's a blood moon. Well, look at Los Angeles in the background. Like, it's on fire. It's just like destruction. I watched this a couple months ago just to kind of see what it was going to be, because I know that the weekend, of course, like the halftime show at the Super Bowl, like there's just always, I feel like you can always look at this kind of stuff to see.
It's like a Da Vinci painting,
some like
hidden messages.
subliminal, you know, stuff going on. So I was like wanting to see, well, they have this blood moon, and it did change colors a couple times, but majority of the time it was red. And that whole landscape with the city was just crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, he put on a show. There's fucking lights galore. Of course, you know, it's got these red little walkers. It just was very creepy, but I think I'm just curious because I know that May 5th is also when King Charles now, is going to get anointed. So that's the anointment. So,
on the
eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah, pre-planned.
Right, yeah, totally pre-planned. And then this, and it just makes me wonder if this is like the eclipse that like brings some crazy.
Isn't this the last one in Scorpio?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So of course.
Not to like freak everybody out, but
Well, I think that that's the other thing. Like,
it's just interesting.
Yeah. We were also talking about that this weekend with astrology, is that some people can be so focused on a transit and like freak themselves out. And it's like, if you're not using astrology to empower yourself and to like, as a tool to like have the awareness, and if it's giving you anxiety, then it's like not, it's not connecting with, you know, within, like there's a disconnect, you know. It's supposed to empower you, and you're not supposed to get like, oh my God, this is gonna hit. I mean, fuck, I've been through so many crazy transits, and you know, that's why we're here, honestly, is to share our experiences about eclipse. I mean, we all go through these eclipses, right, in different ways, but the awareness of what these transits bring and how much growth and spiritual growth and knowledge and wisdom and change. It's like, it's neither bad nor good. You know, if you want to look at it as bad, well then sure. I mean, anything you want to look at as negative can manifest like that. I think like it's going back to like Dr. Joe Dispenza of like your mind, like reprogramming your mind. And if astrology is giving people anxiety, well then that's not the path. But will you, Path Traveler was asking, is there a connection with this lunar eclipse with November 2018? Well, weren't those in Cancer and No, November was Leo and Aquarius.
Yeah. So it squares that point.
Oh. That's how I feel, is a culmination. Absolutely. Yes, exactly. And Nick, that's exactly what it should be doing. You know? And having awareness. Like, at least you have awareness of this to help guide you through. Whereas people that don't have this awareness, they're like, what is happening to me? I feel like I'm going crazy.
What's interesting is we've had so many lunar eclipses in the United States that have been visible. And this is the first one that we're having in a while that we're not going to see the eclipse.
And Pluto squaring the nodes. Like, come on.
Yeah, and Pluto squares the nodes.
And Pluto
disposits the moon, the south node.
That's...
Venus is square Neptune.
Yeah.
And it disposits the north node. Mercury's retrograde still. This is definitely...
potent.
I mean, this is a transformative effect here. And I mean, look, Scorpio does rule destruction. So it's interesting to see, but that, it's like whatever destruction did come, it's probably not real. It's kind of premeditated destruction. Or a natural, cause to get people more into their creative elements. And
you're saying collectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sun Uranus, definitely wild. This has got like wild vibes.
I just like looking at like the sacred geometry of the chart. It looks wild. Look at it. It's like all like...
Yeah, the eclipses in 2018, I mean... It's a natural square point, and the eclipses, are where the nodes are at in that square point. Jupiter was in Scorpio, kind of right where this lunar eclipse is.
I feel like the summer of 2018,
it may have correlation.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like 2018, like...
That's when the nodes, like, remember the summer of 2018, it was crazy for those. The Leo, because Mars was retrograde in Aquarius.
Yeah, it was.
And so the summer, I don't really remember November there was a Venus retrograde where it was not going to retrograde into Scorpio. It was going to go into Libra in 2018 of November. But the summer, those eclipses were a big deal. Mm-hmm. Because the nodes had just switched in November to 29 Cancer Cap from Leo Aquarius. So, yeah, I would say this. I mean, if it correlates to anything from the summertime, but that's when those were like very heightened because of that Mars retrograde in 2018. And I only remember that because I was in my
it was square Uranus.
Nodal
so
return.
Uranus is playing a big, role in both these lunar eclipses. It's very... very Uranian times, and Pluto's in Aquarius.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely... I feel like this was a precursor to the future, and this is where a lot of people probably started to identify more with themselves in a more true fashion, hopefully, and kind of like let go of the perception of, one size fits all in this world or something.
Right.
Kind of like got people back more into paying attention to what their own nature was. And kind of this was like a liberating time, which it was. I kind of like look back to my life, and my life was so different just,
this is when
5
I went
years
through my
ago.
awakening. Are you kidding me? Like July 18th is when, boom, it came on, and I was just like, what? It was my awakening, literally. That was a pivotal time for me, but I think collectively for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people came online to their true self during this. Mm-hmm. During this. That whole access of the nodes and the eclipses.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of holding true to that. Kind of remembering to stay liberated in your values, and how it is still important to work with people, but to know your courage and strength, because that's where, like... This eclipse has 0 Leo, except for Black Moon Lilith. Mm-hmm. But there's no, whoops. Oh, Black Moon Lilith will actually not even be there. It'll be in Cancer.
Yeah.
At that time. So, yeah, Leo's just kind of this wide open space. It's almost like we do have to go back to that 2018 and remember who the F we are.
Yeah.
And get that confidence of, like, our identification back.
Absolutely.
And even being with a solar eclipse at 29 Aries kind of brings that back, so... Yeah.
No, it's going to be, I feel like, very liberating, and whatever destruction in your chart, and saying destruction meaning like, right, the Phoenix rising, It's really like this is the last eclipse on this axis in Scorpio Taurus. It's a big fucking deal. It's a big deal.
Is.
Like it's because then we go into Aries and Libra and it's all with Pluto squaring the nodes and it's all about, like you keep saying, contract void if it is not.
Yeah, I mean, I think
alignment.
it's super important to have your relationships with everything dialed,
Yes.
For that square and that Ingress time, because it's like what you commit yourself to and who you commit yourself to is like, it couldn't be more important because you're either empowering yourself or you're just almost being passive and like not taking control of reality for yourself and what you want in life and what your values are.
It's like you're just existing.
Right.
You're just, I literally was just telling Bryan, I'm like, it's so crazy that so many people are like scared and have so much fear over death, yet they're like, oh, I don't want to be in this reality. My life's so hard. How am I going to get through this? Like, they don't want to be in it. Yet they're so fearful of dying. It's like, what? What is that catch-22? You don't enjoy actually being here, but yet you don't want to not. I mean, it's all of this collectively and individually is for us to like remember who the fuck we are at the soul level.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if are we actually scared to die or are we too afraid to live?
Too afraid to live.
Right?
100% too afraid to live, to leap, to let go. You cannot have one foot here, one foot there. It like everybody's like this, literally on a teeter-totter, and you have to literally.
Yeah.
100%, because we know that. Well, I mean, I know, like this is an illusion, anyways. I mean, we still have many incarnations, so. Yeah. Right. Are you afraid to live?
That when you're in your nodal opposition, it's usually, making a turnaround in your life at some point. Can feel like you're going one way and you think you're going the right way and it turns out your GPS was wrong and you're turning around. So it like gets you back on track because that's usually a time where it's 8 years, after our nodal return and we're like, yeah, we're definitely going on the right path. Oh, whoops. I got lost. I took a wrong turn, so it gets you back in alignment. But usually you have to make a change in some area, especially like I would say where your south node is, because the north node's with your south node. So it's like, by all means, do your south node. It's who you. There's too much of it. It's who you are. You can't like forget about the south node.
You're supposed to balance both.
But yeah, are you incorporating your north node with it, or are you like leaving that essence of yourself behind too? So it's like sometimes you have to get back on track with like, again, who are you, what are you doing, and where you're going. So yeah, the nodal flip usually flips us around a little bit, and it's good. We need that. Usually it's like our GPS just gets a little wonky. You were in that
in 2018.
Yes.
We had just talked about that too. Yeah.
Well, you usually get one with your Saturn return.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why Saturn returns are a big choice, and time of decision in our life, because, nodal flip.
Right.
Got to kind of turn things around. And you get that Saturn return, the first one, with a Uranus trine. So it's, like, trying to help you liberate yourself, too.
Oh. A Uranus
But it usually flips everything on its head, and, like, it can be very, it can feel difficult, but it's good to embrace the change and... Like, that was...
to surrender into it.
Yeah. Embrace the change.
And I believe that all eclipses, like now we're going to the 2017, all eclipses tie into other eclipses. And it all ties into the past.
You can look at, like, sorrow cycles.
Yeah. All of them, though. Like, they're all going to have some type of synchronicity between all of them, And that's a rabbit hole we can go down another day for sure.
Like this eclipse, it should say the sorrows here. It starts 141. And the last time we had a 141 eclipse was probably 8 years ago. Could have even been 16 or 18 years ago.
Yeah, X marks the spot. Yeah, and we were in a Pluto return of America, and like...
Oh, 141.
Yeah, and it's usually always the people in our life, Monica.
January 15th, 2010 was the last
who we have to
sorrow cycle of this
from.
lunar eclipse that we had, and this was a solar eclipse.
God, 2010. I can't, what was I even doing in 2010. That was the year. Love it.
141 sorrow cycle.
Egypt always. And Goddess Isis is at 0 degrees. Goddess Isis, Egypt, Osiris is at 0 Virgo right now on Regulus. And I know that because it's conjunct my Isis and Osiris in my chart. So I love that you said little Egypt because Goddess Isis is in the house.
Very interesting.
Goddess energy.
All this Capricorn with the North Node right there at 21, the eclipse at 25. I mean, we just had so much go through that zone in 2020. And we're coming back to like the same sorrow cycle. Now, I know that didn't happen in 2010, but...
I know, but I love going back to the past to relate it to now. I mean, that's what you have to do. That's why I love astrology, to go back to the past.
It was the last time we also had a Jupiter-Chiron conjunction, which was in Aquarius. We just had one of those in Aries just a couple months ago, just a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is, to reflect back on your times in life, pivotal moments. Definitely 2010 was, a pivotal moment. It's like right after my Saturn return, 2010. God. Wow. But I mean, you have to go back to the past. Even when I'm doing astrology to connect the dots, right? To like connect everything, you have to go back to the past to go into the forward. But yeah. Oh no, we're going to Elizabeth.
Yeah, we're going to start reading charts now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to think back to 2010 was a wild time for me.
Me too.
I was, just kind of being a snow bum. Doing a bunch of drugs, snowboarding.
But were you just like, nah, whatever?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Big
whatever
time.
in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was definitely... Well, I was coming out of a Saturn return where it's like, is it going to get better?
Yeah.
No. I mean, it did. But, yes, I know. Elizabeth, it's you. He has it on Danielle, but it's Elizabeth. Yeah. No worries. Oh, of course, Path Traveler. That's how you connect the dots. That's like being a seer, through the language of astrology. It doesn't lie.
Oh, I took it away.
It doesn't lie.
Pulled up too many charts.
Yes, all right. And we already know Elizabeth's in the chat. And can you confirm that everything March 17th, 1983, 5:21 p.m. in Big Rapids, Michigan? Does it all look in alignment? I know. That's what, and we're going to try to enlighten you as to how for you to move forward and not have it be trauma or traumatic, and that hopefully your mindset also is a huge part of this in moving forward and having the awareness, for sure.
Well, you guys have a lot of similarities.
I know, Taurus moon.
Virgo rising, Pisces.
So you're in your head a lot as a Virgo rising.
Uranus, Neptune in the 4th, South Node in the 4th. Probably a similar kind of home life to you, and Jupiter's even amplifying it, like Did you have?
Gosh, she's got it at 20. Okay, I mean,
what was
first
your relationship like with your parents or your mother?
29 degrees, karmic, right there. Like, all I need is that to stick out to me in the 4th house. You have a very 4th house karmic life. That you are meant to break these ancestral chains in this lifetime. And do you have the strength and the power to break through that? I did it. Finally, I broke those fucking chains last July, almost a year ago, at 41 years old. So this is a process. So I can say from my experience, and I don't even have all that shit in the 4th, but I do have Uranus and Neptune, definitely not at 29 degrees. So right there, yeah, karmic past life family shit that you have to break from. Mm-hmm. And can you find that strength and power inside of you? I don't care how it's been for the past 83. So you just turned 40? Yeah, 40, because I'm 42 and I'm 81. Can you change that? Do you want to change that? You know, comes to a point where you're just going to be exhausted. Yeah. So now you go.
So yeah, you got South Node Neptune conjunct in the galactic center. So I feel like your soul kind of, it has a ton of spiritual knowledge, and like a lot of it just knows about, like, I would say the higher values of the universe, but like truth. You're kind of a soul that's been going on a quest for truth and like universal, maybe enlightenment for quite some time. It's a little like lonely in the 4th though, in a sense that you're not really, you probably weren't out in the public a lot, and with your sun square your nodes and also square Neptune, you know, there definitely could be a shyness.
Oh yeah, I don't have that.
To who you are as a person. And I think as being a 7th house sun and Mercury in the 7th, Eros in the 7th, you know, you're really learning how to relate to people. North Node in Gemini is definitely learning, you know, again, relating to people. It's learning how to have conversations. It's learning how to understand social norms, social cues, how everything kind of works. The more you, I guess, also learn about like the truth of the system and the rules and of the society you live in, the better off you'll be as well. Instead of just relying on what you think you know or what you think other people know or what you feel, you kind of have to like really look for fact. So every time fact can back things up, well then how do you, you know, compassionately relate that to people? And I think, you know, also be a teacher. North Node, that nodal axis is definitely the teacher, because you have so much truth. But you could have been off in monasteries or off in, you know, a church or somewhere, you know, finding all this, you know, higher learning and higher truth that, you know, this is definitely like learning how to relate to people is like the most important thing. And again, there could be a shyness to that, but it's like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be empathetic as well to other people and trying to understand their truth and their point of view. And the more you can listen, the better things will be balanced out too. Do you have something you want to say? I kind of cut you off.
Oh no, I told you to take it away. I mean, I see that Gemini Sag axis, and we talked about that in depth last week, and it's at 29 degrees. It's a karmic degree of those nodes of, right, you need to learn to listen, and that you do have all this deep, deep wisdom, but like, are people ready for it? Like, you can't force it on them. And, you know, girl, you got your Mercury in Pisces. Yeah, in the 7th house. Yeah, you're a 7th house sun. I mean, I understand that. I do not have my Mercury in Pisces. It's
an extremely creative mind. It just needs to learn how to focus on how to relate and communicate and express emotion and be vulnerable. You are Moon, Venus, and Mars up in the 8th house there, which you're so lucky. I'm just gonna say you're so lucky that your Moon is in Taurus in your 8th, because the Moon does not want to be in the 8th. It's one of like the worst spots you could have a Moon. But you're so blessed.
That's why you have a lot of
fear. Believe it or not, you're
though,
actually
too.
blessed because you have a waxing crescent moon in the 8th, and it's said in ancient astrology.
Oh, waxing crescent moon gang. Both have that.
We all three of us. It's said in ancient astrology that that moon in the 8th is pretty much debilitated and the worst it could be unless it's a waxing crescent phase moon.
So look, there's the silver lining.
And it's exalted, so, thank God.
But
which makes you very passionate.
I think that where this could get lost is in that Mercury. Like, and I'm just going to go off of intuitively what I'm feeling, because the reason I wanted to do your chart first is because I feel a lot of anxiety from your soul, which I understand and I have so much compassion for, but this is the time that I know that if you've been in an abusive thing with your mom and all of that and you want to like get away from it with love, it's like the block button, unfortunately. I mean, because that Mercury in Pisces gets way too like compassionate and lost, and it's in the 7th house. So it's like, if we're going to be real here, the only way you're going to truly step into your power is because people are going to just keep taking from you. They're just going to keep taking. Like, their narcissistic energies are just going to keep taking. And my Mercury in Aquarius does not have a problem with that. I'm like, nope, you have crossed a boundary, and they'll keep trying to cross that boundary. But yeah, no, goodbye. Bye-bye. So that's where I just think that you're going to have the most work to do. Because listen, I don't have this access, but I do have my 4th and 10th at 29 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus. So it's not the same, but it is similar. Mine's still at a karmic degree house-wise. But yeah, you're playing out some karmic past life shit with family. And you need to really set up some strong boundaries. And it's like, if you're scared to lose your family, well, I don't know. Like, that Mercury Pisces is just like, that's such a sensitive spot. Because we're Mercury in Aquarius, I can detach. I'm like, I'm such a sensitive person, but I'm like, if you're not fucking well for if your energy is going to like affect me, like in not a positive way, I have to get away from this. I have to. Like, I have no choice. And it always is going to be family, friends, people that, say that they love you and care about you, but really they're just siphoning your energy. It's like narcissistic supply. They come to people like you because you're going to keep being there. And you need to learn how to cut that off.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're really learning how to have your own identity. And you're learning that through relationships, be it with family and also whatever you're doing in the world and with society, or even your job or career or whatever you're doing. Because that Sun square the nodes is an important, place for you. You haven't fully developed your identity in this great wisdom that you have, and you haven't fully understood how to communicate or express these things. So you're really trying to figure out a way to be compassionate and loving, but still to like use cold hard fact to be what gives you the balance. And it's like you can know when scales are uneven because you can feel it within you, but if you can't find the truth to back it up, just giving your intuition or just giving your feelings might not convince people or help people. So you need like factual backup, and that'll help you get the identification, but also still have the empathy and the caring, which I think you're a very caring person, and probably a very sensitive soul. Because Sun square Neptune's very sensitive. It's also extremely creative, but it's kind of like lacking identity. In Pisces, Neptune, 12th house, this is, diluted identity. It is kind of a dissolved ego. So you're and the Sun is an ego. Mm-hmm. The Sun is just like life force.
Yeah.
So your life force is very important. And Neptune squaring your nodes.
Yeah.
As we're coming into this, you're going to have Neptune on your Sun currently as we're speaking. Literally. Exact conjunction with your Sun. And the Sun rules your 12th house. So this is like a very... This is dissolving an ego that you've already identified with.
Yeah.
And then hopefully flipping the switch in your brain to help you express and kind of know who you are in the long run. But, you know, right now is kind of a time to be patient, to be chill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to like overly assert yourself, but you also are going to have to kind of pick up and like, you know, you're getting this also with your Pluto square.
Oh,
And Pluto
yeah.
square Saturn over the next couple years.
And that's the thing with the Pluto square.
So this is like a very intense, you know, transformative time in your life. It's also feels like a part of you is going, it's leaving.
You already have the answers. There's no waiting. Waiting for what? A miracle? No.
I think
you have the answers, Elizabeth. You know you are a Pisces. You're a Mercury Pisces. This is what I just said at the beginning about intuition, trusting yourself. You know. Nobody's going to give you any answer. It's like, and miracles and all of that happen when you are not, they just happen. Not when you're expecting it. So that, yeah. I think that you are such a sensitive soul, and your karma is that you've been around very narcissistic energies that you, for some reason, think that you can change or enlighten, and that's beautiful. But you have to know when the boundary is to say goodbye. And the answers are within you. Like literally, whether that's meditating or what, you need to quiet your mind. There's no Messiah coming to save anybody, you know? So I just think that's very important that, you know, you are very 5D, but we're in this 3D reality, and the next 40 years of your life, how do you want that to be? That nobody's going to disrespect you in this avatar, and that you're going to take control back of your life where you've given any power away. Like, yeah. That's just how I feel intuitively.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is like a breaking of the chains moment. You know,
very.
This is a lot of like 8th house stuff. And this is your Pluto polarity point with your Pluto in the 2nd. This is like definitely not a time of feeling super safe. But I feel like you are restructuring your mind to truth. And this is having you need to look deeper at everything. This isn't like surface level stuff. This is deeper emotions. Yeah. This is deeper feelings. This is deeper passions, deeper connection, deeper learning. I feel like you are kind of going through a relearning, if you will, during this time with your Pluto square. And also this big energy that's going on in your 8th house and the North Node there and a solar eclipse there on your Venus, on your moon. North Node on your moon. There's like uncomfortable things that are hidden beneath the surface that you have to transmute and deal with so that you can get more of your wisdom, so that you can like unlock more potential. It's like not taking the safe route isn't going to do it at this point in your life, unfortunately. And you have South Node on your Saturn at the same time. So your Saturn opposite moon, your Pluto opposite Venus. Everything is this tug of war between like safety and, you know, vulnerability. It's like, can I be vulnerable and still be safe? You can, if you're able to express yourself and express your feelings and your sensitivities and to create boundaries. And that's part of this as well. But right now I feel like you're wide open. You're kind of susceptible. You know, this is Neptune on your sun, being your 12th house ruler, you're a little susceptible. Saturn in your 6th.
111.
Saturn in your 6th, going to retrograde for the final time. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like you got to take care of yourself right now.
Yes.
And that does deal with boundaries.
And your psychic energy.
And you kind of want to push the boundaries of your, like, what you need. Like Lauren was saying, like, you want to hold your values, hold your boundaries strong right now, because
very much so. I mean, I think that's crucial, because
you could get sick. I'll be honest.
Well, because you're saying that your psychic energy was full hum and then dumps that were chaotic in the astrology, but it's like it's like if astrology is at any point giving you like anxiety about your transits or anything like that, it's almost like step back and like see it from a higher perspective, because as a Pisces, and yes, Monica, Pisces are so much, they are strong because it's 12th house. It's past life stuff that when we become aware of it and the energy around us, like, you can take control of that. But that you have to understand there's always going to be energies that you're a healer, right? So you're going to attract people that need healing. And, right, you're going to think that you're going to be the one to do it and that they won't be this and they won't be that. And that's just, your discernment has to be at like an all-time, like, bird's eye view. And you absolutely can manifest whatever you want to manifest, but you have to believe that you are deserving of it and that you can have it. And you have to let go of any toxic, psychic, any type of energy. I don't care if it's family, friends, coworkers, relationships, whatever, that it's so hard to let go of. I know. But you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to fully leap and trust. As a Pisces, trust that the universe then will put the right energy in your path. And that is the hardest thing for people. And right? I mean, it's hard for us to even sit here and say this because most people are probably going to be like, oh yeah, like, you know, listen to us. And whether, you know, I hope nobody's spiritual bypassing, but it's like, we're only here because we've gone through this, you know, and it's very hard. It's very emotional. Pluto square Pluto. Are you kidding me? That's when I finally, had to do all this. So I'm only saying this out of love and encouragement and so much compassion because I've been there. And you can do it, but anything that is not in alignment with your life, especially at this age, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. No matter how much it's almost like scorpionic energy, like you're just holding on. And that's amazing that you should focus on your health. You've lost almost 100 pounds. I mean, congrats. Like, that's amazing. Like, you need to focus on your physical health. So, yeah, it's because it'll affect you. Like she just said, I've had 4 surgeries this past year. So it'll, attack her physical health. Because psychic energy can attack your physical health, whether it's in front of you or just energetically.
Yeah, and you're very vulnerable to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a big portion of this is learning that it's okay to go deeper into truth. It's okay to go deeper into the darkness of situations. If you play it safe, you're going to get stuck. So you really do have to, with your Pluto progressing to the 8th and all that 8th house, you have to learn to trust yourself.
Yeah.
You have to learn to trust people that you feel a deep connection with, but also to really have discernment because, especially with Neptune on your sun, in your Neptune square, Sun square Neptune, I mean, you could really put on way too thick of rose-colored glasses at the same time. So this is just almost an extremely vulnerable time where things can look great, especially with people or relationships, and you're kind of learning that it's not just about the money or even just sex, or even just that it's like so much more of a merge that's important, like a soul, like what a Pisces would want, like a real soul merge and connection that can only be felt, and it's not even, about maybe an ideal or a dream. It's just like this is the connection. But you have Chiron too on your Mars. This is a little bit of a vulnerable time, for sure.
But having the awareness of that is everything. So, that you have the awareness of it, and it's like, it's...
Uranus
right, we
on
can
your
talk
Chiron.
about this all day. It's how you take control of it, that you're just like, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. And I mean, a Pluto square Pluto will just... You'll get to the point where you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
and like you said, it's the third pass.
You have to go deep into your soul to find strength.
Yeah.
Right now, and it can feel like a giant test in a way.
Regardless of anything.
But this is giving you
before.
an identity. I feel like you may not have had one up until this point, or you lost it at some point. This is helping you get back on track with the alchemized version of yourself, with more of your truth, how you can deliver the truth, the information that needs to be taken in, this is like a great learning time, and then eventually a great time for you to be the teacher, which I do think you will be when all's said and done. But you have to really learn how to not only take care of yourself, but believe in yourself, and then be able to let other energy in and not block things. Because if you just block everything, then you're not living either, and that won't be very good for a 7th house sun if you're, hiding who you really are.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the hardest part is just trusting, right? Trusting and believing, but we all have to do that. It's not just you, Elizabeth, or me, or Bryan, or anybody. It's all of us. Mm-hmm. It's all of us. And that we know that if you know that you're guided and protected, and setting up those boundaries, lovingly, healthy, whatever verbiage we want to use, but it's a boundary. And if if somebody crosses that, if you're not showing up at my doorstep, correct, bye-bye. I don't care who you are. That's part of you breaking this. This is major ancestral past life karma. That are you going to be the breaker of the chain of that? Are you going to step up and do that? Because that is the role of this. And right, there's no way to outpray it. You have to do it. You have to find the strength to do it. And that is just being so real AF, So I believe that you can, And that I hope we have,
This is an enlightening time in your life.
Very, very much so, yes.
This is where you can find a lot of stability in what you know, the depth of your soul, how to relate.
Yeah.
By being open and honest with who you are.
Right.
Feeling confident. This is trying to make you more confident, big time. But it can be a time where there's also, it's feeling like it's hard to find your confidence. But this is like an accelerated healing to confidence, to that fire within you, to find, what's passionate in life. If you don't have anything that's like lighting you up passionately right now, well, you're going to go through a transformation to find it.
Yes.
And that'll give you something to dedicate to, and something to work towards, and something that lets you stay intellectually like really into whatever it is you're doing without just kind of maybe floating around. This is kind of a
transit vertex on her Mars. Just telling you to, I mean, again, it doesn't matter anything that's happened in the past. I want that to like be erased from your memory. We cannot live in the past anymore. It's like, this is like a whole new cycle. Literally. Like, especially going into your 40s. Do you want it to be anything like the last 40? You're the only one that has the power, strength, emotionally, mentally, whatever, to be able to do that. Nobody else can do that to you. We could sit here all day and talk about this. You are the one that knows that you have that in you and that you're guided by spirit, right? If you really do trust that and know that, then that's all that you need. 100%. And I fully believe that you will, especially with the Pluto square Pluto, like you will find that. And that's why these transits come, right? Because it's like, okay, cannot be how it's been before. So we're going to shake up everything and you're going to feel so uncomfortable. But where does the most change come from? When you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's no change in comfort.
Yeah.
And that's part of being a 2nd house Pluto, native.
Yeah.
You can't grow and change and alchemize if you just stay in a safety bubble,
like
God, Bubble Boy.
No.
So you have to get outside the bubble and experience things, and that takes a vulnerability, putting yourself in vulnerable positions is important. And gosh, your Venus has just been squared by Pluto.
Yeah.
Your whole ideal
don't seek anything
and belief
outside of yourself.
Of yourself and your self-worth it's gotten a huge transformation, and how you're gonna acquire abundance from that. And I think too that you can find safety no matter what, as long as you can go deep within yourself and bring your power up, that it doesn't matter, you can always bounce back. And you do have a lot of energy on Antares with Jupiter.
I was just going to say, where is her Jupiter? I was
with
just
Jupiter
looking
and
at that.
Uranus. So, I mean, I really do feel like you have a great ability to always kind of bounce back, but it is by being an individual. It's by freeing yourself. It's by knowing your truth, knowing your wisdom, knowing deep inside yourself that you have the answers for yourself. You just have to go deeper into vulnerable places to access that memory.
And you don't look for your tribe. I want to just address this because you just put it in the chat. You don't look for your tribe comes to you. So for everybody in the chat, that's how it happens. Literally, your true self, your tribe, the universe divinely guides you to to places, environments, situations, things where it will be aligned. You do not need to look for anything outside of yourself, Elizabeth, at all. I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah, it's all your deeper
yes.
It's all the deeper guru within you.
Yes.
But you have to have the confidence to bring it out and to speak it and to show it to the world and to liberate yourself from the inside first, and then you can kind of make probably huge liberations for the collective and be a real leader.
And I love that, Rob. You don't need money to be abundant.
No.
That is such an illusion. You are abundant
so much
in
more.
this. The people the energy you exchange with people. And I know. And it's such a hard 3D concept to break. I understand. I get it. I really do. But and I'm so sorry I'm being so no nonsense tonight. But I'm just very passionate about this because we've both been through this and we're here to help all of you and guide and it really is, and it's hard to trust. I know that it is, but once you do and you step out fully of this old life, you're not true self, your 3D self, and go into the 5D self, it will change. It will.
Mm-hmm.
So we love you, Elizabeth. Keep us posted. And thank you so much for sharing your chart. And we are sending you so much loving, healing energy, honestly. And I wanted to do your chart first. So just know that. You were top priority tonight. So, mwah.
Much love. Wishing you the best.
Yes.
All right, Rebecca.
Are you in the chat, Rebecca? July 3rd. Oh, Cancer. July 3rd, 1999. 8:26 a.m. Nairobi, Kenya. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Kenya. And if you're not, then, because I'm sure we're on a time difference, unless you're not still there in Kenya. Here we go. Take it away, babe.
All right, hopefully this chart's correct. And got all that right. And 6-degree Leo rising. Cancer sun, Pisces moon. Man, that Pisces moon is just getting all sorts of Saturn on it in the 7th. So it's definitely bringing up some vulnerabilities with maybe relationships, feelings, home life, personal life. What are your personal relationships like? I feel like that's a big place that Saturn is trying to help you bring some balance to right now through maybe some tough love.
Very welcome.
And South Node Aquarius, North Node Leo. South Node Aquarius with its ruler Uranus in the 7th house.
Ooh, yeah, South Node Aquarius here.
A lot of kind of just always looking to be the peacemaker and to keep everything so equal and fair. Are you paying attention to you this life? You're a Leo rising. Are you finding your strength, your courage? Are you able to liberate yourself? Or I don't know if this life's so much about being an anarchist, if you will, or some kind of a crazy rebel.
Nodes.
But it is about really finding out who you are and learning how to, I think, make decisions. And especially based on being a Cancer sun, that gut impulse. And you're, a very intuitive Cancer sun in the 12th house, but you can also feel like you're a little bit separated from your identity or a little bit diluted as well. You're supposed to be behind the scenes or, of course, dealing with all sorts of things from anywhere from possibly drugs, escapism, but learning how to really find your power.
Good night.
In the creation. Goodbye, Nick. Learning how to really find your power and how to express yourself. You have Mercury on the ascendant. This is great for being able to express yourself, being able to see all sides of a situation, especially if you're kind of going based off your heart. That's important. So I think for you, it's like your heart definitely knows a lot. It has a lot of the wisdom for you, but you have to like really empower yourself to be in charge of your life and to be in charge of who you are and to kind of be larger than life in some way. But maybe, you know, I don't know. It's the interesting part about having a sun in the 12th house is maybe it's not about just like going out in public and being larger than life. Maybe it's not about being on some, you know, some king of the world. You do have Saturn up on your midheaven though in Taurus. So, you know, maybe Saturn does like to be in the 10th house.
Yeah.
But it's like learning, I think, to respect yourself, to love yourself, going through maybe some harsher situations there. Jupiter just had the eclipse on it.
Jupiter and Merlin.
Yeah, Jupiter and Merlin in the ninth.
Yeah.
A ton of like wisdom.
Yeah.
A ton of like earth magic. Earth wisdom. Earth knowledge. And just like knowing sort of, there's a knowing. Very, very psychic.
00 Pisces moon. That is psychic. Trining, I mean, a wide trine to the sun.
With that solar eclipse on your Jupiter and Jupiter ruling your fifth, like I really hope that this 6 months is like a time where you just keep expanding who you are. Like this is a time to express, to create, to shine, to not kind of just, this is like you're coming out. Like I don't know if it's been like a kind of sit behind the scenes kind of thing, maybe because of sensitivities or any way like that, or, you know, kind of playing backseat to other people, kind of letting, you know, everything needs to be equal and fair. This is like you really identifying with what you want to create, what you're going to do, and hopefully finding that wisdom to do it and to really, you know, show yourself. This is kind of a show yourself time. And you're done with the Uranus squares. Uranus is off your Saturn. You do have Saturn square your nodes. It's very fitting. Especially as Saturn, one of the rulers of your south node, and square the other ruler, Uranus. You have to be like willing to take risks and to liberate yourself and to change and to find your self-authority and learn how to be very like grounded in your authority. Like I have authority. I'm here to, you know, protect and to nurture and all the wisdom you have and the empathy that you probably have. These are all beautiful things, but don't let other people walk all over you either.
Just
You
Chiron
kind of
in
need
the
to,
fourth.
you're like learning how to be the boss. And I think that's the thing with planets square the nodes is you haven't really developed your like authority. You haven't like fully developed your being responsible too. You know, putting the weight on your shoulders. I can carry this. I can do this. You know, maybe it's a little reliant on somebody else. So I do think that you're kind of like learning, okay, you know what, I have some things I need to do here, and if I take my time, if I, you know, be 12th house about it, have a great imagination, but then really show up reliably for yourself and what you want to create and manifest, they can show up. But you're learning to like still work with people and balance people. It's not like doing it all by yourself, but I think trusting people too, because the 12th house sun could also, you know, think that people are out to get you a little bit. It's a little like, it has the rulership of hidden enemies. So it can be a little like, oh, I'm vulnerable. Somebody wants to get me.
Yeah.
So I think you're also learning to be very like,
That Venus
very
retrograde's going to be right on her Mercury. Or no, her Venus.
yeah, it'll be Venus return.
Venus, yeah.
And over the North Node.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this summer, you know, is a time where you really find that relationship to yourself and get real tight with who you are and learn how to show who you are too, and to not just hide always behind the scenes. I mean, I think you can go behind the scenes and take care of yourself and do, you know, a home life, and you got Pluto in the fourth. You're a highly emotional person.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, but you got to find like the courage to use that emotion to go after something. And the 10th house is the polarity for that Pluto, and you have Saturn in the 10th and square the nodes. Like that's a big thing, is learning how to take the initiative to be responsible and go after things. What you need to learn to dedicate to something that's I think, forward for the collective, that is innovative, that is kind of like best for people in the long run, but also something that you feel passionate about, that really lights you up, that you want to identify with and kind of like take the lead role.
Yeah. Any wild transits? Let's see. Oh, Neptune is right on her vertex. And part of part of fortune and vertex in the 8th. Interesting. Neptune on the vertex in the 8th. Interesting.
It's an interesting kind of like...
Yeah.
It could be a very awakening transit.
Mm-hmm.
Could get a lot of visions, a lot of dreams that really manifest. Maybe even a person. I mean, vertex can bring people into your life, but... It
is people.
So maybe something passionate.
I would hope so, in the 8th house on her vertex.
But this is where, too, it's like... You don't necessarily want to lose yourself into just like a passion or a relationship. Like, it's great if you have it, but make sure that you're kind of being shown, you know, Leo's king queen energy. Make sure that there is that element in your life too. Or it is kind of just a mirage and kind of just an ideal that might feel good.
Yeah.
But the more I think you can take responsibility for your feelings, for how to create safety in your life, how to create anything in your life, boom, this is extremely powerful. And I feel like this eclipse and like where you're at right now is really lighting that up for you. So I think that it's actually a pretty positive. It's actually pretty positive for you, to be honest.
Yeah.
You do have Pluto on your Neptune also, so. Yeah, it's Saturn moon. It's just, again, it's that emotional responsibility. It's like helping you with deep within yourself take more control of relationships, contracts in life, how to make decisions better from like, again, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, but also not just like sitting back doing nothing. You know, if you're kind of indecisive, this is kind of a big like time to start making some calls for yourself. You're growing up. It's time to, you know, fill these, you know, Saturn in the 10th shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you might have escaped like responsibilities in past lives and maybe just kind of fell into a crowd, fell into a group, and maybe thought that that was a unique, you know, identification for yourself. But this is really like more going towards like really finding out who you are. And showing it off.
Yeah, no, I mean, it all looks...
There's, I mean...
Saturn moon's just heavy in general. Doesn't matter if it's squaring, conjuncting,
your Mercury's
whatever.
Getting squared by the nodes. I feel like that is bringing up people and maybe like a potential like worry about what's going on with people in your life. People around you, maybe worried about what they're saying about you or something. You definitely want to remember your direction right now and your beliefs. Because this is like it's almost like the story's starting to get rewritten for you. And I do think that, you know, with a lunar eclipse coming in your 4th, this is definitely, again, where you could start to see and square your Uranus and your South Node. I feel like this lunar eclipse could bring up some definite triggers with home life or relationship life, and maybe feeling attacked or like victimized in some way. Got to take authority for your life and not let other people kind of dictate where it goes. Like you're not... I think you're learning how to to harden up that Pisces moon a little bit. Saturn's trying to harden it up. And it's going to come back and just sit there beginning of next year. It's just going to sit there.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing your chart with us.
Yeah, what a great time to grow up. And I know Saturn moon sucks, and especially for a Pisces moon, it does. That's like definitely the hardest transit that's really, you know, hitting for you right now. But some of the other stuff is... A lot of the other stuff is pretty good. North node on your Jupiter.
Yeah.
Again, this is an eclipse on your Jupiter. This is like unlocking a huge amount of potential and creative potential in your life. But you have to take authority for that, and like you got to dedicate and do something. Put in work, put in effort. The only way to feel like safe and secure for you, I think, is through your work ethic in a way, and like staying on it for something that you really believe in, something that really like fuels you and makes you feel like you're not only supporting yourself but supporting, other people, supporting the world in some ways. I feel like you got big shoes to fill in this life, and maybe that brings up sensitivities also.
Rob says making cash flow millions.
As we speak.
Oh, maybe. Oh, you're making cash flow millions as we speak, Rob. Or Rebecca needs to. Which one? Rebecca needs to, or you're doing that? Are you North Node Taurus? Thank you, Rebecca. We hope that helped you.
Yeah. If you're not making millions, Rebecca, the nodes are squaring your Mercury, and that is your second house ruler. So it's trying to have you like maybe reconfigure your environment or your message and your truth, and how to, hold the faith and believe that good things are still out there and good things can come. But again, it's like also believing in yourself right now. This is like a believe in yourself time. So we'll move on.
Absolutely. Do you need coffee?
No, I'm okay. Thank you. Do you need a cookie?
Probably. I'm going to use the ladies' room, but I might get a cookie. That was a good suggestion.
All right. Danielle M, are you with us? All right. Guess not. Well, I hope the Saggy watches this later on. All right, Danielle. You are Pluto in the second also. A lot of Pluto, Saturn in the second. Virgo rising. Safety, security, especially Venus there. There's just such an almost intense like need for money to be the thing that is always going to keep you safe, or a relationship always has to be there to keep you safe. I think you're learning that there's so much more than just the physical aspect of life. There's so much more than just a house or a car or a relationship that has what you need. You're learning that you can definitely go deeper and create anything that you need, and how to also learn how to share certain resources with people. And it's not like that you're not supposed to be in relationships. I think you're definitely learning how to do that. The 8th house is the polarity point, and it's Venus Pluto, but it's learning that, again, it's more about like a deeper feeling, a merger, not just because of money or physical substance, but because there's like a real alchemical connection between you or whatever it is you're passionate about. And it's also learning to take risks, because sometimes with a Pluto in the second house, it can be just wanting to play it safe all the time. Because it's like, oh no, I feel really good about this. I'm confident in this part of life. But sometimes you have to go into a place that you're not confident in, that you haven't gone into before, so that you can start to see what else is out there. So what else is out there for you? Likely something that's in there. But it's also 8th house, and it's also Taurus. So learning the deeper areas and the deeper aspect of yourself, and how to merge that with another based on true like soul value. I think for you it's about soul capital, not just like monetary capital. So anytime you can really connect on a soul to soul basis with anybody, that's very powerful. And with that, a lot of 3rd house. So I would imagine you're probably quite the talker. North Node, Gemini, your Venus, your Mercury's in Capricorn, so potentially, you kind of only talk if you feel like it's really important. There's that potential with a Capricorn Venus, like it kind of keep things serious to a point, maybe a little dry. I think too, it's just important to remember that you do have a lot of truth. We talk so much about this axis, like with Sag and Gemini. A lot of the viewers on this channel have this axis. You have so much wisdom, so much truth. You've gone on quests, on vision quests, on up in the mountains, like whatever. Like you've figured out like the higher values and truths of life and reality. The problem is you don't know how to communicate with people because you kind of went off on your own journey to find enlightenment in some ways and to learn how to use your intuition. Sometimes that's the best way to use intuition is by disconnecting from reality. Or even, just maybe with some small, caravan in the third house, some small group. This one's more about bigger groups, bigger connections, bigger communities, and really learning how to take in what other parts of that party is saying. And also with the ninth house is about really picking a truth. So maybe you have a lot of spiritual wisdom and abundance within you that but are you, really going to narrow it down to pick that way, to pick like the one way? Oh, you like the soul capital? That's actually a Christopher Witecki phrase. He used to say that a lot back in the day. That's one of my favorite lines of his ever, soul capital. It's so good. So I'm glad you like that too. You really got to pick your faith and hone in on that and learn how to communicate and learn how to express your faith without, a dogmatic approach to it. That's like the double-edged sword for you, is really picking something that you're all in for and that is your like North Star in life, learning how to communicate it, learning all the knowledge behind it, but how to like deliver it to people in a way that they can intake it too, and then learning how to listen too, because you'll never know. Like people could have exactly the answer you need. Although I think you're here to kind of be a problem solver for people, you have to go and like listen and trust other people too to get more information, because that's the thing with the South Node Sag is you did know it all in a past life, but in this life you don't. So you're kind of like a student and a teacher to yourself and to others. So remember to like take that in, listen, and hopefully to not be, worried about faith or belief. Chiron's in your ninth house and it's at 29 degrees. It's pretty, intense when it comes to like, I think really finding the value deep within your beliefs and to feel confident in your beliefs. But maybe it's by hard work. Maybe it's by hard work, and dedication. Mercury rules your North Node and it's in your fourth and it's in Capricorn. So it's like, I think really understanding your base, your foundation, and how to, get a plan for what you want internally so that you can go after it and, kind of show a bigger version of it to people as well. But maybe it's like a little bit more precise. Whenever you have something you want to say, go ahead and let me know.
I just keep
I know you
reading
just got back.
Rob's comments, which I love that. That he gives so much. I love it. I was almost thinking for a moment, just randomly, what if Rob is Frida? Because I subscribed Frida to you.
That'd be hilarious.
But I don't know. Let me catch up here. What's the rising?
Virgo.
Oh, okay. Virgo rising, so Neptune in the 7th. And, okay, you got the transits going on, so is that Neptune in the 2nd?
It's Pluto, Venus, Saturn in the 2nd.
Oh, Pluto. That's Pluto in the 2nd. Oh, okay, I can relate to that. Well, it's better to have Pluto than Neptune. Yeah, security is important to Danielle.
It's 100%. Yeah, we talked about that. Also, I just noticed too that, it is your moon that squares your nodes in Pisces. So you also have that Pisces moon too. It's
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's that deep inner foundation, and learning how to be emotional and vulnerable, and also I think go within for your knowledge and go within for how you can serve the collective or how you can connect.
Sun squares that moon. Yeah, a lot of Sag.
Yeah, very, very saggy.
But yeah, squaring the moon and the vertex and
Yeah.
Jupiter. Oh, Jupiter and Sag got that shit in its home placement.
Yeah, it's learning really how to feel and how to go deeply and understand your feelings so that you can
Jupiter
express and
Sun.
communicate.
Yeah, you've got big
And
visions.
once you realize how confident you can be and how to trust your knowing and how to trust your feelings, because
Night path traveler.
the moon in Pisces again, it's so intuitive. It feels other people's emotions before other people feel it. So that's where it can be tricky with a north node and square the nodes, is that you can kind of think that you already have the truth for somebody by just your intuition. You have to have like
Oh,
the
South Node
conversation.
Sag. Okay.
You have to have the conversation and the talk before you just assume, because otherwise it could just be a projection of your own emotions, because you might not be able to differentiate what's yours and what's someone else's, but there's always something coming in. There's always a feeling. It's very sensitive and intense. And it does pick up on what other people want, but if you don't ask them, then they won't even be receptive to what you're trying to help them with anyways. That's one of the issues with the South Node. And also being a Sun South Node is like, the Vedics would say that's like maybe last life here on Earth. Like very like kind of enlightened. And I could see that, as a possibility here too, is how do you give that wisdom? How do you like go deeper into your own vulnerabilities to express what you know, to communicate, to build relationships? You also have Venus in Libra, which wants, I think, to be a diplomat, but people it's in the first house, so it can get a little pissed at people too and upset. Like it can get a little worked up with people at the same time. But I think, again, if you're able to go back and forth and balance things, that's always good. And it can always bring a diplomatic solution. But you have to, again, be open and vulnerable with people and trust.
I'm getting so distracted. I've never seen Rob in our lives before, and he's saying he might come back as a meteorite. And I said Moldavite. Maybe he'll come back as Moldavite.
Maybe.
Yes, Danielle, you have a lot of wisdom. I mean, what do you say, right? Got a lot of Sag, girl.
I think she got a ton of special knowing
like
and gifts, but gotta figure out ways to let that uniqueness out instead of playing it safe all the time.
Yeah.
Lot of truth. You're definitely a truth, bringer in this reality.
But it's the same access that we keep. Gosh, we've had so many North Node, South Node,
I know,
Sag.
that's what I said. It's
right.
A lot of the clients, or
It's
not clients, but viewers on the channel happen to
listening. Here, I mean, right. You were probably on top of the mountain, just hanging out.
Saturn's coming to square your Uranus.
Meditating is probably your second language.
Saturn's going to square your nodes next year. I think this is, a good time to kind of make a weird, unique change for what's going to give you more of a schedule or a day-to-day that you like. Saturn's also approaching your moon next year. That's a big one too, as it, gets ready to square your nodes, is I think learning how to connect with people, how to provide some kind of a service that feels good to you, and really how to express yourself too. Because it's also going to trine your Saturn, which is your 5th house ruler. So this is a good time to, I think, find whatever, to just know that your safety and security isn't reliant on any physical thing other than your truth and your knowing. And as long as you're able to deliver that information, you'll always be creatively kind of taken care of and be able to support yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and you're in your Pluto square also, so that's a big one for your 3rd house too. Again, I don't know, you might be relearning certain things right now that you thought you knew. There definitely could be a shake going on that's trying to like shake out information that's not true any longer, because I feel like truth can always evolve. So where's truth evolving in your life right now? Also, your environment, the town you live in, like these things could get a little shaken up. You might need to go experience the world. You know, your North Node in the ninth, even though it's Gemini, it's like you got to kind of go out of your safety zone and like experience things.
Yeah, Chiron, 29 degree
your North
Taurus.
Node, eclipse in your 8th. And the solar or the lunar eclipse will be on your Saturn also.
Well, yeah, Rob, you can't trust them or politicians or anybody. I'm kidding.
No, but you might, this might be a time to go experience something. I feel like you got to take charge for your life and make sure that it lines up spiritually and that it feels right to you. Because Saturn is going to square all your Sag over the next 2 years. So it's definitely trying to initiate you taking some kind of a control over life for yourself. And maybe that's like really getting to the truth of your spiritual connection, where you're trying to go, who you are, how to express that great wisdom that you have. Your Sun, Jupiter, South Node. Oh my gosh. Like you could be one of the funnest people ever. That could be extremely fun.
Hi, Lottie. Your friend Badr is going to be... Next session that we do, it'll be our final session. The final 6. So, he'll be on there. Just so you know. Mm-hmm. Badr. I got him on there.
Venus is on your North Node for this moment. That's nice. Exactly when I ran this chart. So hopefully you're finding, value in your wisdom and your expression of self and putting it out there and not holding yourself back. This is like a time to break free a little bit, and I think to be okay with, transformation and vulnerability and to see what else is out there. I think anytime you're getting out of your safety zone right now, whether it was with a relationship, South Node Venus, or even with yourself, with Pluto, or what you thought you knew, you're going to find more value in the unknown. So get into what you don't know so that you have more wisdom and more expression and more things to tell the world.
Yes, Lottie, I'm going to make Bryan do our final on Thursday. Yes.
You're going to make me?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Because there's no reason
How are you going to make me?
I was going to feed you a bite of this one.
No.
Oh, God. Because there's no reason that we can't.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. This is our universal duty. Thank you. Yes, Lottie. So tell Badr to be watching on Thursday. Now, I don't know we're going to say 7 on Thursday. 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. So let him know. I don't know. You guys have him over to your house and have him watch. Or tell him. But love you. This Rob guy is funny. I can't. Rob, I hope you're not a bot. Because you're funny. And anybody that trusts the government or politicians or anybody is lost. Yeah. Love you, Lottie. Okay, sorry, Danielle, but I don't know. I mean, babe, did you give her the goods? Like, did you hit it? Did you give her a home run?
I'm good. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I think I hit.
Yeah, I mean, 83. Like, girl. You're in a Pluto square Pluto. Own it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, your truth is going to change right now, and the more flexible and adaptable you can be to take in new information and to go deeper and to trust that it's okay to not be in a super safe or secure place, you're going to come back and find that there's security in so many places of life. You're just getting to see more. I feel like you have to see more right now. So you might experience something that you weren't expecting or something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable to show you more, which is just going to empower you and give you more knowledge and give you more strength and more stories to tell. And hopefully it's a very empowering time, because I think that's where Saturn moon is hard too, because it feels like this isn't empowering, this is crushing like my personal life. I don't get to do anything I want. You know, for you it's 11th house, it could deal with friends too.
Ugh. If they're meant to be
People.
in your life, great. If they're not, let them go. God, people are so attached to friends. I always find this just so wild. Are you attached to friends?
I mean,
Oh, you are with that North Node Aquarius. I'm just like, I have no planets in the 11th, so I'm like, whatever is meant to be is meant
I'm not
to be,
really
whatever's
attached
not.
to a lot of things.
I know. That's why I'm like...
That's my North Node in Aquarius, is like non-attachment.
Yeah, so it's like if people are meant to be in your life, they're going to be there. Mm-hmm. They're going to show up, and they're going to be like, I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
And if they're not...
They don't want to be, they don't want to be.
That's what I don't know. Am I having an epiphany, or
Maybe.
even if Danielle needs to hear this or not, it's like, some people get really attached on friendships, and I have compassion for it, but I don't understand it. Like, we go through many cycles with many people, right?
Yeah.
And, yeah, if they're not... And all you got...
Well, the vibe changes, right? Like, people...
She has no planets in the 11th, so right. Danielle,
people change their vibe.
Yeah.
You change your vibe.
We're all on our own journey.
And if the vibe doesn't match, it won't stick around.
Yeah. I just don't get attached. I've had so many different groups of friends, because I've probably done that in a past life, that it's like, okay... All right, I'm meant to just keep it on moving. Yeah, that's never been a concern for me. I want to be around I'd rather have 2 amazing people in my life than 20 fake ones.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, I think too, with like this Pluto square for Danielle, like, don't let physical reality get you into a mental tailspin. Mm-hmm. Like, it could be mentally very challenging for you. And I don't want to see you, like, go into a really dark place, you know, mentally, when I feel like you're supposed to be looking at the positive side of life and feeling, you know, good in the unknown, and using some of your gifts to, you know, show people that. So this is like a little bit of both. Like, can you step up here? And like get through maybe some dark thoughts, because this could, you know, this is kind of a deep transformative time, and it could be very sensitive or scary. Maybe some things are, you know, by default, by divine default, like leaving your life right now. It's just to show you more truth. It's just to give you more information so that you have more to communicate and express and know.
Absolutely.
So don't be afraid, and don't think that, you know, there's no way out or anything.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get a choice here. It's like, can you take responsibility for everything that you feel? Can you kind of like grow up and empower yourself through this time in life? Or are you going to let your mind just be the thing that takes you into the depths and, you know, takes everything away from you? So I think this is like a really big time to like empower your mind, to empower yourself, and to know your worth.
Uh-oh, I might have triggered the chat. What don't you understand? Friends are important. Oh,
Friends are important.
Absolutely. I have 3 best friends that are ride or dies, but I don't need 20 fake friends at all. But I have a lot of clients that are very, very like codependent and focused on friends and friends and friends. And it's like, you only need 1 or 2 amazing friends. You don't have to have a million friends. Why would you want, you know, a bunch of superficial friends that, let's say, you just go out and like party with, right? That instead of having like people that are really going to be there for you. So I don't know. I hope I cleared that up, and I hope I didn't trigger anybody. But I might not have expressed that right. My Mercury in Aquarius gets crazy. So, yeah, friends are important. I just don't get attached to that.
Of course.
Right? Like, I mean, if like
I think
things
you just
happen,
have to understand
everybody's
some
on
people
their
are
own.
going to go
their own
different
path.
ways.
I'm so about everybody being on their own path that like I can't control any relation. Like, that's the thing. We can't control anything in this life. Literally, we are in control of nothing but ourselves and how we show up and react.
Exactly.
So the tighter you hold on to something, maybe that's just something that I've learned, that I'm like, if I've wanted somebody in my life so much, whether it was a friend or a lover or whatever, it's like, if it's aligned, it's aligned.
Yeah, I mean, it's even like relationships.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. It's like somebody will say they don't want to be in the relationship anymore and they're not in love anymore and they want to move on. And the other person will say, like, no, I'll do anything. It's like...
Right.
I mean, I understand the passion and the love that other person could still have.
Well, because they're like, if you work through it, but it's like, no, but the other person's disconnected. They don't feel that.
I don't know. I think it's good to respect that people, like, and look, maybe they come back. That happens too. It's just like respecting
the cycles.
That
the cycles.
Other people might have a different life trajectory and
being
Lesley,
accepting
of that.
I hope Lesley, like, I'm not, I don't know, maybe I can come off like a little bit too much, so I'm not like attacking at all. I just was trying to, we're all trying to understand, right? This is why we're in the chat. No, like, I probably misunderstood. I just, yeah. I just wanted to know, because, and the reason I say this is because friends, the 11th house, we'll just use the 11th house, is like a really sensitive place for people where they're like, I want to find my tribe. I want to find my friends. And I understand that. I get that. I have compassion for it. I just don't personally, it's like I have no planets there, right? So I'm just like, right, whoever comes in, they're teaching me or mirroring me, and I'm the same. And we move on. But people with a lot of planets in the 11th are they want to cultivate connections.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's two sides of it. There's the side that just wants to have people around.
Yeah.
And wants to kind of be friends with everybody, which is fine. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other side that really wants to do its own thing, and there's a freedom and individuation level to that, and they want to be their unique self, and that's more tribe, because you're being authentically unique with who you are, that your vibration is connecting very strongly. It's tuned into another person that comes into your life, or you come into theirs, whatever the scenario is.
Yeah.
You know, that's where like more tribe energy is formed. And like I said, you know, frequencies change within us. We'll, you know, have moments where we raise our vibration or we lower it, or whatever the case may be for anybody, that it might not resonate with that friend group or that friend or that person anymore.
Yeah. And
that's where, you know, I think that non-attachment comes in there too.
See, and I'm like opposite. I'm like, unless we're going to have a deep fucking conversation, what are your childhood wounds? What is this? I don't want to fuck with it at all. Where 11th house is like, we can talk about fucking, who cares about that? I'm more 8th house, fucking 5th house, 7th house. Like, let's go into that. Yeah. I have no interest unless we're going to go deep. Literally. And I'm just being told, like, my Mercury cannot, Mercury, right? It's in the, what? The
6?
third?
Yours?
No. What do I have that I just discovered? Was it in the, it's the third, but it's in what's in Scorpio? It's in my 3rd house. Scorpio's in my 3rd house. So I don't want to have fucking superficial conversations. I want to go deep. Right. So that's my Mercury.
It's a Virgo archetype.
Right. So I'm just like, yeah, I can have a lot of people around me, but then I'm just like, I don't want to just have fun. I want to know about you.
Yeah. I mean, Aquarius it's an interesting
No, that's what I'm
vibration,
saying. I don't have any planets in the 11th. That's what I'm saying.
It's not all fun either. It's more about like
we totally went off
an ideal
on a
or
tangent.
or it's like innovations. It's trying to further things. But it wants to further things for the collective. It wants to find win-win solutions. It wants to be like, we can all do this together. But it has to figure out what it really wants too, and that's the polarity with the 5th house and like Aquarius Leo. It's like it has to have the courage to be itself before it can really like innovate and change the collective. Otherwise, it's just falling in line and doing what everybody else is doing, which is more 10th house, more Capricorn,
Right.
falling in line with society and the rules and the structure of life, instead of like finding its structure and its individuated sense of self and the uniqueness it has, and that it can find other people with that same uniqueness, and then they can form tribes and friends, and then they can, you know, do. There's strength in numbers. I think that's where like 11th house comes together too, is like there is strength in numbers.
Babe, I agree. I'm just saying I have no planets there, so it's not like a priority.
Well, you have your South Node in Aquarius.
In the 6th house, though.
So?
It's not a priority for me that, yes, I have Mercury in Aquarius, so I'm like the people, but really,
well, I think that's good that you're Mercury, not attached.
I have whatever in the 3rd that I want to go deep. Like, every astrologer that ever has read me is like, oh, you can't have superficial conversations with people. It does, and I'm like, no. It bores me. Mm-hmm. Totally. Small talk? Oh, God. It's the worst. Mm-hmm. It's the worst. But I don't even know how... We got on this because of me, so I do understand that. I collectively understand that. But, I don't know. This is just real life, guys, so... I just didn't want to trigger anybody. I love all of you guys. And, yeah, Lesley, you're a Virgo rising, too, so you get it. I don't know. Friends are important. But I would
people
rather
are
have...
important. Life would suck. Life would suck if we did this all by ourselves.
But I want to have the ones that really have... I want to only connect with the ones that I really resonate with and that have my back. Like, Aquarius, to me, it's like wants to be with lots of people and they don't care. Like, it just is... a lot of people, and I'm like, no, I want like a smaller tribe that like gets me.
That's Aquarius. It's both.
Yeah.
There's a dark side to it that's more like, yeah, just wants to fall in line and be like everybody else.
Yeah.
And everybody's equal, and I don't want to be unique. And, you know, there is that side to it. But then there's the other side, which is like, no, I'm unique, and I want to be around energy that sees my uniqueness and understands it, and we can fucking channel and go into exactly. You know, talk about conspiracies or fucking whatever else is going back and forth in timelines.
Because that shit might trigger people. Conspiracies, they might be like, what? Like,
be like, you're some kind of conspiracy anarchist. Like, you know,
I want to just go every fucking direction.
That's Aquarius too. Rules the ankles and the wrists.
And you know what's so crazy? This is so off subject, but literally I'm always thinking in astrological terms. This is how my mind works, guys. So today Karen told me that X, Y, and Z was not, you know, going to inherit anything from their past lover. Well, their past lover was an Aquarius, and guess what? That condo that this person owns, that is worth charity. And I go, well, that is fucking Aquarius. Aquarius. No brothers, no sisters, no siblings. And I go, yes, that is the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not even that it's the right thing to do. It is a very Aquarian thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, if you have no
probably aren't going to give your
and
property
I love that.
Someone you dated for a couple years.
I know, but I honestly was like, that makes so much sense. He was R.I.P., such an Aquarius, and that will benefit. He put down 3 charities in his will. That's great. In his will. Yeah.
That was super Aquarian. He went out like a true Aquarian.
100, like, that is Aquarian vibes. Yeah. I love it. So.
And that shocked people. That's Aquarius too.
Right.
People.
They were like, wait, what? Yeah. Sorry, guys. We went off on a tangent. Who's next? Michelle.
Are you here, Michelle?
Oh, man. But Lesley, I actually love that you asked that and said that, because look, we all just went wild. Love you, Lesley. Yeah. Thank you. Michelle A, are you in the chat? You're a Pisces. Oh, March 13th, 1980. Oh, we're not that far off. We have to have a lot of the same shit. Because I'm March 10th, 1981, and she's March 13th, 1980. So, no, maybe
She's got more Virgo.
Is her Uranus at 29 Scorpio?
No, 25.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, she's here. Look.
Oh, outstanding.
Okay, yay, you're here. Woo. Pisces gang.
Pisces in the house.
Okay, so wait, where is her Uranus?
It's in the 3rd in Scorpio.
Oh, at 25. Okay. Gosh, he moved.
North Node, Mars, Regulus.
It was not even only a year and he went to 0 Sag, so Uranus doesn't move that slow.
Uranus covers some space. It's only in a sign for 8 years. So, like, it covers space. More than Neptune and Pluto.
29. All right. So, I like a Uranus in Scorpio. I think it's very...
Oh, Rob, Pisces.
Oh, nice, Rob.
Dang,
Yeah. Give him back. So, where's her vertex? Aquarius. Oh, no, on my south node. I love it. In the 6th. All right, take it away, babe. Take it away.
Got another Pluto in the 2nd. Lots of you in here. Safety, security. Gosh, we say this over and over again. I feel like between like Pluto in the 2nd and South Node, Sag, North Node, Gemini, that's like all our readings.
Allegedly, we like to what? House at nice homes.
Oh, no, there's something about the 2nd house and Pluto there where these people just kind of like end up in nice places or nice things. And it could be through a partnership. It could be, even if you weren't raised in a nice place or a nice home or something, you'll somehow end up like babysitting or house sitting for like a nice home. But like you'll be around nice objects, nice things, which make you feel very comfortable and very secure. It's the 8th house. It's learning that there's so much more. The 2nd house is like a frog in a well. It's like, oh, this is so nice.
Got an empty 8th like me.
I see everything I need. I see everything that, oh yeah. And it's like once you get out of the well, you realize how much more is there. So the 8th house is realizing how much more to life there is than any kind of physical thing, whether it's money, whether it's just touch, whether it's just sex, even with Pluto there. It's like really learning that there's more, there's a deeper soul connection to every contract, that it takes more than one person to really, in many ways, like achieve something big. It's learning how to merge, it's learning how to trust, and how to get out of comfort zone. So it's like every time you get out of your comfort zone, you learn how to alchemize a situation and you become more empowered from within. And,
I can attest to that.
Sometimes you have to trust situations that you don't feel comfortable with.
Yes.
But, Pisces 7th houser.
Nice. Yeah, Michelle. Pisces
everywhere.
7th house. Everything's a dream. It's where we should just live.
Great partners.
Another Mercury Pisces.
Always great partners.
Yeah.
You do have your South Node in Aquarius, and North Node is with Mars on Regulus. That's some powerful energy. Like North Node, Mars, Regulus, that's some serious like winning energy. It's in the 12th though. So I feel like everything that's winning for you is actually it's in the ability to go into the unknown within yourself, whether it's meditation, sitting with yourself, not putting yourself out again. And we talked about all this Aquarius, like groups and people and like jobs where you're just surrounded by people, like anything you can do on a day-to-day basis that gives you some time to seclusion and like your alone time. That's when you're going to unlock some of there's just like great potential here. Because Regulus is some regal energy.
She's like Path Traveler. Path Traveler has North Node. I know she's signed off for the night, but she has North Node on Regulus too. That is fucking potent. That is king, queen, fucking energy, past life shit in the 12th.
Yeah, it's really learning like to love yourself and really learning to put yourself on a pedestal almost.
Yeah. You're a queen.
And your Virgo rising and a South Node in the 6th and the moon in the 6th also.
Oh my god, she's Virgo rising too.
You just noticed that.
Your fucking Jupiter's on my shit. Exactly. On my rising. Oh yeah, we do have a lot of similarities. Yeah.
You could get a little too caught up in what other people are doing and what other people's schedules like or how they're taking care of themselves. It's so important for you to take care of yourself, especially spiritually, giving yourself the alone time. The more you can stop analyzing every single person and what they're doing in life, you're going to find more of your creative
So
potential,
fun, though.
more of your empowerment, more of your strength. It's almost like an infinite abyss of like trying to crack everybody else's code and mystery that could just be an extreme like load of stress and make you feel like you aren't getting the abundance that you may want. You have Jupiter opposite your Mercury. You have Jupiter in Virgo. All right, we're back.
Oh.
I don't know why our router does that.
Okay, it's just...
It's so frustrating.
We gotta call Cox. We have this conversation
Every week.
Every
live.
week.
It's like, what do we have?
Cox
About 2
sucks.
hours? Yeah, about like 2 hours into any show. It's just like, hey, pumps the brakes on us.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, are you kidding me?
Cox sucks.
Yeah.
But back to Jupiter in Virgo.
It's in the 12th. You always have an angel on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something, but
Yeah.
you can like over stress or analyze situations, and you take yourself out of abundance when you do that. You take yourself out of your faith. You're really learning to have faith and to surrender and trust that the universe has your back, that angel on your shoulder will come through. You don't have to work so hard. And you might be an overworker, or, have a lot of work ethic, or overly want to like take care of or nurture people. You got to remember to take care and nurture yourself. You have Venus in Taurus.
Nice.
Like, remember
Oh.
to use that Empress energy and to like really uplift yourself, to believe in yourself, to know that you're beautiful. That's one thing with Chiron in Taurus, is like that can be like self-image issues, like not feeling pretty enough, beautiful enough. Mm-hmm. Could even be weight issues. And Venus in Taurus does like food.
I've got
and the
Chiron
ninth house
in
likes
Taurus.
a lot.
I know that. Yeah. Venus
but again,
in Taurus, those
the more
at home.
The more you love yourself, the more you take care of yourself and your body, the more you'll connect with other people, and you don't have to worry so much about other people. You'll take yourself out of your abundance because your mind will get lost in all these different avenues with people. And it can be a place where you like also you'll never understand what everybody else is going through. Even if you think you can, you can't.
Oh,
you do have an Aquarius moon, though, so I'll give you the Aquarius moon part, is that you can connect well with people and you can kind of understand in an objective way, but it's not so much of a emotional kind of way. It's more of it's taking a step back and kind of seeing things as they play out, which can be very beneficial. But you have to like see things play out before you come to too harsh of judgments, especially for yourself. And Venus and the moon are in square in your chart too. I think you need to like maybe even just take that like higher vantage point and really like for yourself. And Moon Chiron, which can be a hard home life.
I have that.
It can be a hard relationship with the mother.
I have Venus moon in the 9th.
Yeah.
Wait, so she has Venus Chiron in the 9th. So it's like, yeah, it's very
Square
similar
the moon.
though. But similar, yeah, self-esteem. Definitely. And
yeah, there could have been a lack of nurturing from parents, like some kind of a disconnect there. And then you kind of have to relearn and like how to really see how to create abundance, how to see how to expand your life. And it's always through self-love, and it's through, I think, a unique understanding emotionally of how everybody's life is different and unique, and yours is too. And how to see too that, you've gone through experiences that gave you one perception. That doesn't necessarily mean that maybe you know exactly what other people are going through also. You really need to focus on your own self-love. That's like one of your greatest gifts. And that's where you can.
Though.
Yeah, but North
I
Node
love
Leo.
when people say that because that's
North Node Leo.
everybody.
North Node Leo, Chiron and Taurus. Like it's really apparent for this chart.
Mm-hmm. It is, but everybody needs to. And what is self-love? Maybe
when you don't have to judge yourself for everything.
But everybody judges everything.
It's good to like judge something, but once you have an understanding of it, let it go. Like, we're all going to have opinions.
Well, of course, that's healthy.
And you can say that coming to an opinion is a judgment.
Right.
We're always going to be making some kind of a judgment about every situation in life. But that doesn't mean we have to hold it against ourselves or other people. It's like when you hold a judgment, it becomes a grudge.
Right, or resentment.
Or a resentment. Mm-hmm. Just gotta let it go, move on. Create your boundaries and move on with your life.
Yeah.
And, again, when we're overjudging ourselves, that's when we don't have the confidence to express ourselves. Right.
That is a Virgo rising, judging themselves and judging others.
Right.
But really, when they're judging others, it's because it's a mirror of what's going on within themselves.
Yeah.
Literally. 100%.
Which is something we all have to do. We all have Virgo somewhere in our chart.
Yeah.
We all have a 6th house. So we'll get this over-identified version of ourselves, and we have to like pop the bubble because we'll never hit all of the standards that we, want for ourselves. We can all want some kind of a perfect version of ourselves or others. Mm-hmm. It doesn't exist. And that's North Node in the 12th. Perfection doesn't exist.
I know.
It's like learning to let it go. Perfection lasts for moments at a time. It lasts for moments at a time. Like, that is a perfect cookie.
Yeah.
But it's going to be gone, and it won't be perfect
anymore. But I want to take off half of the frosting.
All right.
Virgo rising.
Yeah, Virgo, Virgo has like a, sadomasochistic vibe to it.
It does. Oh, it
wants the pain. Yeah. It like wants the pain. It like kind of like wants to be told it's not good enough. It almost motivates Virgo.
I know. Well, for me it does. Yeah. It's interesting too because before we got into this live, when I was reading Jeff Green's book of Pluto, the relationships he goes through is codependent, sadomasochist, and I was like, oh, I want to read that one. Twin souls, soulmates, all that, and it's like, yeah, it's all very, the sadomasochist thing is probably what a lot of people are in.
Yeah.
When you like really like read it.
A lot of people, and it's because we all have the south nodes of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter in Capricorn. Yeah. And Capricorn is big on that too.
Yeah. And where people don't...
It's a very like Capricorn Virgo archetype.
Yeah. They don't want to like admit that, but if you really like read what he's saying and like take it in, it's like, yeah. It's very telling. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So you also had that eclipse in your 2nd house, or in your 8th house. It posed your karma asteroid. Oh, no, sorry, it didn't. Quincunx did. I looked at that wrong. But, again, this is a transformative 6 months in your life. This is trying to kind of break you out of your comfort zone to, again, like coming up on a lunar eclipse in your 3rd, maybe relearn some situations, get new experiences, take in more information, learn new truth. There's an alchemization taking place here. It's going to help you attract. It's going to help you be more vulnerable. A lot of this is too like, are you in a relationship? Like, could be a great time to really like go deeper into a relationship. Could also be a time where there's a lot of desire for one, but also, where you could be hiding things. And maybe if you're hiding things and you're not in a relationship, you got to go deeper into understanding what those things are within you, because that will help you relate better and more truthful with others. Maybe it's kind of like unlocking some kind of intuitive wisdom that you are ready to get purged out. Mercury retrograde in the 9th. With Chiron and Venus. think there's some kind of, there's more wisdom that maybe you haven't paid attention to that can really expand vocabulary, knowledge, self-worth. Take some time, I think, to like really go inward about your understanding of maybe just your beliefs, your journey, what you want. Put some effort into it. Maybe getting you ready to, teach something too, to share more information, because the ninth house definitely wants to like tell what it knows. But there's like a Chiron there that's like, you're not worthy of telling people what's valuable. But you are. That's your greatest gift. That's your key.
You all have to get this book.
This is a great book.
Time. Pluto. So I had to bring that in just so you guys know.
A lot's focused on your mind right now, Michelle. With Saturn coming to your Mercury, Pandora's box that's meeting up with your Mercury, Saturn's going to station on it. With your third house, also dealing with a lunar eclipse. So much of this is your mind, and maybe like stepping up and saying something that needs to be said or expressed, or giving your side of the story, listening to someone else's side of the story. Maybe the environment, like, is the environment fitting? I feel like with Saturn coming into your 7th, it's like, it's going to bring up, again, I haven't seen if you're single or in a relationship, but that's going to be, Saturn in the 7th is big for relationships, whether you're in one or not. It's trying to have you take more authority and be more, not judgmental, but be the, judge in your life and make decisions on what's balanced. So if things are out of balance, they're like going to become really apparent, especially mentally, and you're going to want to like deliver that, even if it feels like it's, extremely difficult or hard to come up with the right words. Yeah, I do think a lot of this is a transformation of truth and being able to express that. Maybe it has something to do with something that needs to be said. Maybe something will need to be said over the next few months. You're getting close to your Uranus opposition. Uranus is gonna station opposite yours. That's the midlife crisis transit, and Uranus is in your 3rd. I don't know. This could deal with maybe could possibly deal with a new environment for you, breaking away from something that's keeping you kind of stuck. Like, this is your liberation moment. It's also the ruler of your South Node and your 6th house.
Oh, she says she's single. I feel like Uranus opposite your... Oh, single? I feel like Uranus opposite Uranus is positive for single.
Yeah, this could help you really break out. This is a breakout moment, maybe to express yourself more. Maybe to go, shine, to use that Leo. Mm-hmm. To use that North Node. Because the Uranus opposition, like, if you're not like living your life in your true, authentic self-expression, your uniqueness, and you've been holding it back for somebody, for something, you just get to a point with this transit over the next 18 months, 2 years, where you're just not going to take it anymore. So it could be around a job at the 6th house. It could be around your health, your body. That's like, it's just not working anymore. Your day-to-day life just might not be in alignment anymore, and maybe there's new truth and information, and a new environment needs to take place. It's likely that you're just going to have to make some changes to your daily life. Again, you're in an evolution phase with an eclipse in your 8th house, trying to take you into like trusting that there's more out there, there's more in there. And maybe it has to do with just expression, or getting to the point about what you want and breaking chains from what's holding you back. And Venus will retrograde in your 12th too this summer, so you're probably going to have a nice, relationship opportunity after that. I'd be, leery about getting into a relationship with
be
a
on your
Venus
Mars.
retrograde in your 12th,
She has
because
Mars North
it'll
Node
probably,
conjunct.
probably won't be a long relationship, but maybe it's good to go in and see what, happens there. I don't know, but
It's gonna bring something back from the past.
yeah, something
Here's
that really
where
needs
the
to
fluff-
dissolve.
I'm
Something
like
that
the
really
fluffer.
needs to dissolve.
I'm the fluffer. Here I am, the fluffer. Right, don't have rose-colored lenses on because none of us should. But that's going to be an activation because it's literally going to go retrograde at 28. Yeah. So, in the 12th house. So, it'll be something from the past, whether it's evolved or not. But, yeah. How can it not be a relationship in the 12th house with,
it's
like,
gonna seem like
if
it's a
we're being
fantasy.
real?
But it's like this last thing that's like probably something that you've tried over and over again, and you're getting a great opportunity to make a different decision.
But what's going to be stable? Something that comes in the 10th? I mean, what's ever stable? How do we know it's ever stable?
There's always changes.
We're just like, if it was in what house, would it make it be like, oh, okay, this could be good?
What, a Venus retrograde?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be good in any house. It's just...
This is where
there could
it's
be some
like,
huge relationship fantasies or ideals of like something that comes in is going to be
all
the best thing
relationships are
since sliced bread
fantasies.
and like the most loving, unconditional thing ever. And it could turn out that they had nothing but bad intention.
But they're all fantasies. That's where this whole astrology thing, gets crazy. It's like they're all fantasies. What, are you safe if it's in the 2nd house or the 7th house, or if it's in the 8th or the 12th, you're just fucked? I mean, I don't know. I think that I need to start telling people to just, be discerning, but a Venus retrograde on your shit is an activation. It's an activation. But it could be delusional, Michelle. So just know that.
But it could be delusional anywhere.
Right. I mean, fuck. I haven't had a Venus retrograde in the 12th, and it's all been, interesting.
Yeah, you get one too.
I do win.
This summer.
I do? Not in my Venus.
Virgo rising.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Neptune's done with your sun, though. That's good. That's good. Speaking of delusion, the last few years have been pretty delusional with Neptune there. So there is like starting to see more clearly when it comes to people. Maybe this Venus retrograde is just a test to see if you're ready to see clearly about certain situations. And that's the thing with the 12th house. It always kind of dissolves and ends. It's the final house. It is an ending house.
It's your soulmate or your enemy. What a great house. Right? And no astrologer or anybody will be able to discern for you whether that is your soulmate or your enemy. Only you.
Yeah, it's going in and having experiences.
Yeah.
And being vulnerable and trusting and getting out of your comfort zone. And maybe even this summer, if that happens, maybe that's exactly what you need to do. That's part of the transformation. Every experience is a lesson.
Yes. Everything in life, no matter what house.
All right. Love Triber.
Mm-hmm.
Are you here?
Yeah. Path Traveler sent you here. Are you in the chat? Are you in the chat? Yeah,
Oh,
she's right there. Does everything look correct? January 29th, 1965, 3:45 p.m.
I probably couldn't hear that whisper.
She's going to say 2 thumbs up. I know it. And thank you, Michelle, for sharing your chart Michelle. With us. Mwah. Yeah. You're so welcome, Michelle. Much love to you.
All right, Love Triber. Cancer rising. Interesting having a Aquarius sun and a Cancer rising.
3:54
and a
p.m.
Cat moon.
She says.
3:54.
I can hear the frogs.
Yeah, I can hear the frogs too. Chart. Edit. Okay, 3:54 p.m. Saugus, California. Never heard of that.
I feel like it must be Northern California, but I could be wrong.
All right, Pluto in the 3rd. Deep, penetrating mind.
You don't want to have superficial conversations.
Don't want to have superficial conversations like Scorpio in the 3rd.
Nope.
But it's something your soul's been learning to, is to acquire information, to acquire fact, to keep kind of like taking in what's true, kind of wants like tangible evidence of truth too. And you're also learning in this life to kind of trust your natural instincts, your intuition. You have a super active mind, your left brain. It's time to really incorporate that into the right brain, into your intuition, to have a trust, to have a big belief in life, to have like a guiding, philosophy in life. All super important. Chiron's in Pisces in your 9th. So there could be maybe at times in life or at a younger age, maybe like a lack of faith or a lack of direction, or feeling like you don't get shown love by the universe or from beliefs, or maybe even some kind of a religious tie that could be, part of that situation too. And it's opposite your Pluto. Maybe it was like through finding information out about some kind of a religion that did kind of break you free. Your gift is truly in everything is all connected, and that everything's all one, and it's like the higher consciousness of life. And I think if you could really like dedicate yourself to like really focusing on these bigger, truths, these universal truths, instead of just sort of man-made truth or certain things, the better off you're going to be, and the more you'll feel like you're trusting your intuition to guide you. Even as a Cancer rising, you're ruled by the moon. Your intuition does want to guide you, but you can suppress it with a moon in Capricorn. You can kind of hide things, below the surface, or not want to like show your true colors, because maybe you might think it makes you look weak, or like you look vulnerable. Saturn's also in the 8th, so there definitely could be, a little bit of shyness when it comes to really like showing yourself. You're someone who's dedicated, who will put the work ethic in. There's no doubt about it, but at what cost? Do you just suppress how you're really feeling about life? Also, South Node Sag, North Node Gemini, and it does square your Pluto with 7 degrees. So I think it's important to remember your wisdom. Remember like what you've learned about healing, how you've been of service, how you've been a teacher in the past, so that you can deliver more information from a more universal place. And to really have that faith. It's important to like understand your faith on an intellectual level, while also knowing it on an intuitive internal level. But North Node in the 12th too, like remember to take time for yourself. Learn how to turn your mind off from time to time. I think that's a part of it too. You can't really get into your intuition if your mind is always racing, or always looking for the fact, or the written information or something. But you could be an amazing like writing channel with North Node in the 12th in Gemini. When you sit down in a quiet space and really let what comes to you come out, that could be where some extreme wisdom, makes its way to reality. You have to let the burdens of reality kind of go too. There's so many things to be responsible for, and you might take on too many things with all that Capricorn in the 6th. You might take on way more responsibility than you can emotionally handle. So it's learning, I think, to be responsible for truth, to be responsible for how to express it and communicate it, to kind of create your own day-to-day life, and to not be too rigid or suppress your own personal wants and needs for some sort of religious, or not religious, but, constant, I wanted to say something else with R, but it didn't come out right. Rigid schedule. I don't know what it was. Anyways.
What does the Star of David represent? Love Triber.
The Star of David?
Mm-hmm. That's what a Love Triber asked. What does the Star of David represent? And that's so interesting because we were talking about that last week.
The Star of David is the Jewish star, for one. So it represents like the 5 points. It's made with quintiles. When you have quintiles that connect all the way around the chart. It's pretty special, I think, in a sense that it's very connected to, I think, really like divine truth, like a higher knowledge, a higher knowing.
Well,
I mean, you do have a lot of
wisdom.
biquintiles, and you do have a lot of quintiles. Your biggest quintile to me is your Saturn, Jupiter, which I think can be, something extremely special when you learn how to use the depth and the wisdom that you have and commit to that knowing, and then, figure out how to creatively express it and how to like show that abundance without maybe keeping things suppressed for maybe like what society will think of you or what people would think of you, or putting too much, some kind of I feel like, again, it's like getting out of the rigid sense and just dedicating more to the authentic self. You're an Aquarius, like how do you be more, express that uniqueness instead of doing things, which you might do at this point in your life, but maybe it took like a breaking out to really express that. Venus had, big energy with Pluto and Saturn meet on top of it in 2020. It's your 11th house ruler and your 4th house ruler in your 6th. Could have dealt with some kind of a situation at home, maybe monetarily, maybe around a job, or possibly some, connection and people experiences too, or having you kind of like break out into a more liberated sense of who you are, because the transformation was just boom. And then Mercury right after, which is 12th house, which could have been a deep spiritual awakening.
Saturn
as well.
In the 8th in Pisces. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're in your Saturn return. Exact.
In the 8th.
Which I think is a big one in terms of relationships and like,
yeah.
Personal relationships, commitments to another person. Are you in a relationship right now? Maybe think back to your first Saturn return 30 years ago and see what kind of similarities or what kind of the big lesson at that time was. Could have likely been around people or a committed partnership or some kind of like shared resources, maybe even like, I don't know, investment situations, or potentially the loss of someone leaving for whatever situation.
Was on this eclipse.
Oh, Lucifer.
No, her
That was the eclipse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, moved to Vegas. Interesting. What'd you move for?
Mm-hmm.
Married 5 years later.
Moved to Vegas 30 years ago, got married 5 years later.
Well, could be having you take a risk too. Dealing with a little like risk factor, trust, having to go into a vulnerable place, make new relationships. Got unmarried in 2019. Yeah, well, you've had Pluto go over so much of your planets in Capricorn that you're definitely at a a highly, at this point, evolved state of understanding, relating, what your value is. You've kind of been through the trenches already and had to like experience that. So this might be, not so bad of a moment with the Saturn return. It could be actually very empowering of like realizing, I think, how magnetic you can be, and how if you want to attract a relationship in, you absolutely can. But you don't want to necessarily control the situation either. You have to be very like Aquarian about it and very like open and, kind of maybe do things a little bit differently. And that eclipse was in your 10th house. So potentially...
Are you in a love relationship?
No, she was single.
Still good friends. So someone that you would like to reconnect with? Better not marry between us. Well, regardless of the contract of paper or not, this is a person you were married with that you do still have deep feelings for. That's what I'm trying to understand. I don't care about the paper part. Is this somebody that is new or old? Past or present? Because all marriage is a paper. That's it. No, but I have a roommate that's on my wavelength.
That's good. You're welcome, Elizabeth.
No, but I have a roommate that's on my wavelength. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are we looking for love, or I guess everybody's always looking for that, but or are we focused on ourselves? I'm trying to understand.
I think that a relationship could manifest moving forward, maybe not right now, but I think that it's likely during the Saturn return time that it's trying to have, some trust and vulnerability in an unconditional kind of Piscean way, and how it can merge together. Maybe it is with a friend. You're an Aquarius. Maybe you're going to do more with a friend. Merge more. Create a contract. I don't know. Maybe there's a business in line. You just had a solar eclipse in your 10th house. So maybe the career is ending, changing, what you really want to be responsible for.
It's a karmic friendship. Well, everything's
right
karmic.
On. Nice. Well, maybe you two do something in the future.
A karmic friendship that you feel like more feelings, like a friendships that don't sleep together? Because what is a friend? A friend is somebody you don't sleep with, correct?
I guess it depends on the friend. And the person, I don't know.
Oh.
There's a thing called friends with benefits.
Oh.
I can't answer that question. Like, some people have friends that they sleep with. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's
workshop. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
No roommate involvement. Okay.
Would you like there to be?
No,
Well, I'm just trying to understand. Because it says it's platonic but very good communication. I wanted to go deep into... Oh, okay.
Well, maybe that's something that evolves with the Saturn return. I feel like it's...
As an Aquarius,
bringing up relationship stuff for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and trying to, I don't know, something has to do with like taking some, making a decision, taking authority for what you want too, with that solar eclipse. Yeah. It's on your Lucifer too, which can deal with desires. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So make sure your desires are pure and from a good place, and it's a powerful time to achieve things that you might want right now, whether it's a relationship or a business or a partnership with business. Maybe it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I think the Saturn return is trying to show you that you can do something, you could bring something to the table with another person that's a little bit more.
Yeah. She says she would enjoy that.
Good.
Yeah. So the transit's there to manifest it. So I feel like that's very positive. What else?
I'm looking for something else that really jumps out at me.
Where is the Okay, that was on the Merlin. Part of Fortune Vertex.
The lunar eclipse will be in the 5th.
Mm.
It's a great time to be, really expressive, creative. I think between like 5th and 10th house, like this is like a kind of a time to put yourself out there a little bit more. Kind of like make decisions that really like let you, I don't know, create in your own way, be expressive. Like if you're holding back right now, like this is like a great opportunity to stop holding back. And maybe with Jupiter square your Mercury, or even the Chiron squares that have been going on to your moon, there's like a little lack of self-confidence or judging yourself on something. Maybe this is like a good time to speak or write or just show off something that you want. Like this is kind of like a good opportunity to like, what's been holding you back from expression? What's holding you back from maybe necessary changes that you want to see?
Yeah, especially in the 5th house. Playful energy.
Yeah. What's fun? Where are you putting too much effort into something that isn't also bringing fun into your life? And have you over-dedicated to something that doesn't even make you feel like yourself? But Uranus is just making huge moves with the trines over to your energies, I think, when it comes to like people, connection, breaking you out of your box a little bit. So I think that Uranus is really trying to help you liberate as well. It's going to be opposite your Neptune, which could kind of like bring you back to reality a little bit, kind of shock you out of maybe some kind of a diluted sense of self, and kind of like show you that you can put stuff out, bring out more creativity, also more knowledge, more wisdom. I feel like you're ready to like share some information.
Yeah. And like she said, she's ready to like have that like 5th house energy, that childlike spirit and fun.
Yeah, you might have grown up really fast and had to like take on a lot at a young age, and maybe now in these years now you get to be more childlike and more free and more creative and do things more how you want to do it. So I think this is like taking responsibility for like what your day-to-day life looks like and just being the boss of that. And how can you really like take care of yourself in a way that makes you feel good, that doesn't make you feel like you're being lazy, but also not putting too much on your plate and stressing you out.
No, that's like lighthearted.
You mothered your mother growing up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't really
Moon in Capricorn. You're the parent.
I can relate to that. And I don't have a moon in Capricorn. Oh, my draconic moon's in Capricorn. Oh. Yeah. I just think that the more that you have like light heart. Oh, a destiny card reader.
Oh, outstanding.
I love that.
That's great.
I just went down a rabbit hole with that because of you.
Instead of human design?
Yeah.
Do you put stuff out? Do you share your opinion on that stuff? Maybe do like little energy readings or horoscopes or something along the lines with those? Could be something beneficial that, kind of shows people that maybe you're open to doing that work more.
Yeah.
That's cool. You've been doing those for
love
10 years.
That.
I love Destiny cards. I'm the Joker.
What am I?
The King of Hearts?
He doesn't even know. Because the Joker is never paired with anybody, so they don't need to know.
I think, no, I don't get any relationship spreads, or I don't get any spreads.
I don't know. Whatever king I am, it's creative.
You're either the king of clubs.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's not
or
hearts.
the king of hearts,
yeah,
king of clubs.
King of clubs. I'm a king of clubs, love triber. What does that mean? We already know what the Joker means. It's just like a...
Ooh, the ace of spades. It's a card that loves its freedom.
Can't be controlled.
Yeah, I met a guy who does destiny cards in Texas last year, and he was super cool. And
any ace can't be
he
controlled.
said, yeah, nobody can control an ace.
Yeah.
Ace is wild.
Mm-hmm. But I'm sure lots of people will try. I'm sure lots of people will try. I do relationship readings as well. Yeah. Well, so you're already on your path. You can call in a fun-loving relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like a good time to start making decisions about who you do want to partner with right now. I think this is a time to like put effort into relationships and like your home life and what feels good, and how you can change up the day to day to provide a service. And maybe it's more of a spiritual service, maybe it's more of using your intuition, these gifts that you do have. It's always expression with the North Node in Gemini.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
good.
bet. I bet. That's how it's designed, Love Triber. You are supposed to shake it up.
Yeah, Saturn's gonna make great aspects to all your Capricorn stuff
Thank you,
too.
Lottie.
So you're in a pretty good spot coming into this Saturn return. I think it's just like, what do you really want to commit to that you're really passionate about?
I got it.
That kind of like uplifts you and makes you feel good, and how can you uplift and make other people feel good and spread your truth? And I think this Venus retrograde is going to try and show you, when all's said and done, how to make more money doing what does, light you up and bring passion into your life. Give you more of a confidence. And I'm not saying that you're not confident, but you could always, have more confidence. And maybe the way that you deliver information or express it, or what the quality of life can be. And the senses too, and like what really feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, you already have so much knowledge and wisdom, Love Triber, so you're on your path. For sure. Stacey! Thank you, Love Triber, for not only being friends with Path Traveler and sharing your chart with us. We appreciate you and sending you so much love. Are you in the chat, Stacey? May 5th, Taurus, 1983. May 5th, 1983. Yes, Taurus. Almost your birthday, so happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Leo rising.
Yeah,
Am I
Taurus
saying that
sun.
right?
Yeah, that's what
Nice.
David calls the
Oh,
prized
love
bull.
that.
The prized bull.
I love that Love Triber, Path Traveler, and Love Triber met because of a Destiny card reading.
Oh, outstanding.
Love it. Destined. So, yes, Stacey.
All right.
We
then.
might not have spelt your name right, but you get it.
Yeah, sorry.
We spelled it with a Y instead of an I. Or an E. But May 5th, 1983, Taurus, Pluto square Pluto 2.
Yeah, finishing.
Yeah.
Done with that. It's Pluto square Saturn now, so. Emotions. They're a lot. You have to handle emotions. It's probably been an extremely emotional time with Uranus on your Sun, heading towards your Mars. Also, your moon in Aquarius has been dealing with Saturn during a lot of this, and Pluto squares. It's a deep, emotional dig and emotional dive. Probably trying to get you to relate more to what you're doing on a daily basis.
Another North
But also how to express creative potential more, how to put yourself out there. It could have maybe felt like a little difficult, but I feel like overall this transformation is just trying to help you shine, trying to help you be more like Leo rising in life, and to really, have more fun and connect to people on a more fun level too, and be able to share your information, be able to communicate. Maybe it's a little hard to express because there's so much emotion, so much, going on in your head. Everything's kind of spinning all the time. It's also good to like take a step back, get objective, see how everybody's equal. If you've come into that place of being able to see how, everybody else has their special wisdom just like you do, and the more you can listen to people, the better your relationships will be. That's very important. Relationships need to be stimulating.
Jupiter, Uranus in the 5th. Damn, girl, you've probably had some interesting 5th house connections. And not only that, your moon in the 7th, so it is hard for you to let go. But that moon is in Aquarius, so I don't know. That's interesting. What's a moon in Aquarius in the 7th? Can it let go?
Oh, I think it really enjoys
Can it
people.
let go?
I think it really enjoys people, and yeah, it can.
Oh,
Moon in
interesting,
Aquarius
because I always hear moon in the 7th cannot let go.
In Aquarius, it can.
Okay.
In Aquarius, it can. It's just, it wants relationships, but if they don't kind of go into a futuristic place or feel like they're innovative or unique enough, it will get bored. So you could definitely get a little bored with people if, the excitement kind of runs out. Mm-hmm. So I think you're learning how to like kind of...
Well, when does the excitement run out for an Aquarius moon?
It's different for everybody.
But what does that mean? The excitement always ends in all relationships.
I just mean with people.
Oh.
Could want to move on from relationships. It can be detached.
Oh, like it has to constantly be finding new people to be stimulated.
Or just somebody who's constantly kind of like bringing some kind of, like, this is going to stimulate me and take me into the future with this person, whether it's romantic or not.
Yeah, but what if, like, okay. Because, like, the future isn't always, like, if you're in the now, but you're always looking ahead and you have to be present, then is that what gets the moon stuck? Where you're just like, no, I want to just keep knowing where it's going to go.
No, I think it's just feeling like the people that it's around are stimulating some kind of an emotion that's
so it needs
connected
to
an ideal
constantly.
of like what can be in the future. Because Aquarius moon, that's like they don't really love to go into the past. They want to go forward. So it's like a constant kind of forward progression. So if like relationships get stagnant, they could, or the love or the passion runs out.
All relationships do get stagnant, so that's where you're getting me in this, like...
Do they?
Most do. They all come to, like, a certain point where you have to, like, keep it exciting.
Well, that's where the Aquarius moon is good, too, because it wants its alone time also.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't always want constant something. It wants its alone time, too. It wants to be an individual, wants to figure out its own emotions to come back and relate more intelligently.
Yeah.
On an emotional level. But it's still, like, there's just a lot of 5th, 11th, and an Aquarius moon. There's issues here with Chiron, too.
Yeah.
So there can be, like, a little bit of vulnerability or, a little bit of doubt about people. But that's, like, part of what you're here to do, is to learn to relate. To understand people, to be objective.
She says she likes eccentric uniqueness. It's very Aquarius, yes. And then 2 for human design. But in what?
It's the hermit opportunist.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually earlier in life. It's like kind of has to find out who it is and how it wants to relate. And then the 4th line is definitely all about people and community, and which I think is where a lot of even the asteroid karma's there and the north node's there, Chiron. Like there is a lot that I think is based around like objectivity, listening to others, not always being right, not always having all the answers, being able to objectively discern about how you feel. Kind of decide if like it vibes or it doesn't vibe. But at least you gave,
would you like to
at least
live
you
on
gave
a
it
commune with
the opportunity.
people? Could you live like in a compound with lots of people? Would that be ideal? Like with lots of like energies that you like vibe with. That's what I think of when I think of like Aquarius energy. Like, well, you just want to like, you know.
I have a lot of it. I don't really want to necessarily live in a commune.
I know, but then you have a lot of Capricorn, so that's the part that probably is like, nah.
She's got a lot of Taurus.
I actually have dreamed about that. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like being around energy that you resonate with, right? Like you have your own space, but it's around. Yeah. Yes.
No, it's good.
That is so Aquarius.
You're 100% here to like relate to people, to be in communities, to be in groups. You would, if you did everything all by yourself, you would never get the recognition that your 10th house sun wants.
Or you probably wouldn't even feel
and you would
like
never
alive.
get to like show your creative knowing and your, you know, what makes you happy and what lights you up and your innovative qualities. You know, that's all part of like coming to a group setting and like sharing. Yeah. So you're here to share.
So logical to have one lawnmower, she says. Yeah. Okay. See? I was like, that's the vibe that I was getting. Like that you would, not that you all have to be in one big room with cots, right? But that you want to be, I don't know, on a non-polygamous compound. Or, you know, however you want it. But like that is what I think of when I think of Aquarius energy.
It can be.
100. 100. And it's not a bad thing. It's like just coming together and having, right, a purpose and a mission. That's Aquarius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totes.
Mm-hmm. Pluto square Saturn. What do you do on a daily basis? What's your day-to-day life like? Are you a little stuck in a routine right now? Because I feel like the square is going to kind of break down any rigid schedule and kind of, you know, have you change that. It's kind of a karmic place in your life too with the interceptions with Capricorn and Cancer. Which I think is making sure that whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis is definitely in spiritual alignment and also, I think, uplifting and like taking care of yourself and your soul at the same time. That the more you can kind of commit to your deeper passions and emotions and make your schedule based around that and not just some kind of systematic thing, you'll live more like a queen and you're kind of, you know, creating the rules for yourself, which maybe Uranus on your sun and all this 10th house Uranus, maybe this is where you really are starting to create more of like what your unique rule set is and how it can be, you know, you can be a powerful leader for the collective, you can be a powerful leader in groups.
She's an RN. Oh, I love that. You need to be an RN for the collective. Mm-hmm. Alternative medicine.
Yeah. Saturn on your south node. I mean, I don't know. South node Saturn can definitely like change a job. And kind of change things that you take responsibility for. Not saying that you're going to, but maybe a different way of going about it. I think Uranus is gonna kind of try and put some final touches on like making sure that whatever career you are in is like a very like liberated one.
Yes, very
something that you're kind of like taking initiative to be in charge of.
I'm getting that show that we've been watching, the healer in Castlevania. Remember?
Oh, Dracula's wife?
And she was like, they kept calling her a witch and she was burned at the stake and she's like, that chick was definitely an Aquarius. 100%, whoever she was. But she was like into medicine and like the science and like she was for sure an Aquarius. Yeah. I'm getting this kind of vibes. She wants to like help the tribe and the people. And yeah, I love that. You knew what the girl's name was in there.
I can't
What
remember
was
her
Dracula's wife?
I can't remember her name.
We're talking about Castlevania, the anime show, but it's very much so. We were just watching this weekend. It's very, yes, I know. That, you're her.
Yeah, she's
I mean, you're not going to be,
epic.
burned at the stake or anything, but I just feel like that's, like, in your soul, that's who you are. You just want to, like, help others in whatever way that you can, and you're already an RN and going to in, like, different ways with that. Yeah, in a community.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so your moon and Mars are in square, and Uranus is going to square your moon. So it's going to meet with your Mars and your Mercury, which is retrograde in Taurus, and also squares your moon. So I feel like when it does come to maybe expressing emotion, there is a little disconnect there, which can be an Aquarius moon thing too. It can be a little like emotionally awkward about sharing how it feels, or a little aloof to expression. I think as long as like you're really like slowing down and seeing what you value and what you want to, take charge for and make happen in life, it's much more easy. But there can also be a little bit of like, I don't know, you're learning how to understand, I think, yourself and your commitment to yourself on a deeper level. When you understand that, it's easier to kind of take the odd route because you're feeling really confident in yourself. I feel like Uranus is kind of trying to break you out of a comfort with the square to your moon. That is intercepted in your 12th house. So again, kind of like trying to maybe bring closure to something that you're comfortable with. Also, kind of forcing you into the unknown and to have faith and to not maybe stress over situations, but like learn to let things go. Really, I think, trust how your emotions are feeling and what they're telling you. Like Mercury is your North Node dispositor and it squares your moon. So it's like, it's sometimes can be hard, I think, to trust your mind because it doesn't understand your feelings super well, or how to really get that out there. And Mercury rules your 12th and your 11th if it's a whole sign. And Uranus is going to station on that. So, I don't know. It seems like a very like interesting time of like, I don't know if you want to be in a commune, like not necessarily going being in a commune, but there definitely could be some kind of like radicalized shakeup um, that's trying to break you free here. I feel like maybe doing something a little bit different might, force its way upon you. They could kind of like switch up again, like routine, kind of day to day stuff with your Saturn square, potentially job.
I see hawks all the time. Birds are messengers. Oh, maybe you're seeing Stormhawk.
Do you love being a nurse? Is it something you'd like to do for another 15 years?
Maybe she wants to be an alternative nurse.
I think with the eclipses, like in your 10th and 4th, yeah, but I don't actually feel it helps people. See, I feel like you do want to help people, for sure. I think that you want to do something better for the collective here and like leave your mark on the world in some way. That's where I think if like you're not feeling like very like passionate for something right now, like Saturn's kind of trying to make you transform and Uranus is trying to liberate you. Be open to opportunities elsewhere if they show up. But again, 10th house is about making decisions, at the same time and taking responsibility. So I think if you did want something, it's time to kind of, if you wanted to change, this is the time to make it. Potentially with Pluto squaring your Pluto and your Saturn, change could happen without you whether you want it to or not, to be honest with you. It's kind of like an interesting place with the intercepts in your chart, but also 6th house ruler. Yeah, I feel like the work situation is going to be the kind of like the big thing to look out for. You do have Jupiter in your 10th, though. So, I mean, whatever you do, whether you keep the job and it sticks around, or the universe forces a change, or you just decide to make a change, Jupiter definitely wants to give you benefit over the next year. Like, it's going to be here for a year for you. So, like, Jupiter's like saying, yeah, take on as much responsibility as you can. Take on enough, all the things that you do want right now, whatever you think is going to be empowering for yourself.
We have a lot of interesting chats going on. I don't even understand. Are these like all conspiracy theories that are going on in the chat? I'm so confused. Like, yeah, Mother Nature, God bless, so amazing and beautiful. But where is this conversation going?
Also, Venus retrograde in your first definitely could change the way you identify with this world. Maybe your appearance, maybe just what you claim to be, how you value yourself. Like, it's going to get an upgrade over this summer. So I feel like there's a new foundation that's kind of going to kick off. I wouldn't be surprised if I talked to you in a year from now and you started a different, potentially job, or took on a promotion in your job. Like, something's kind of taken maybe a schedule shift in job. I don't know. Like, maybe you switch to the night shift or something ridiculous, something that like kind of throws you off, but like also you meet people and connect with a different, people in that space too. But there is like there's definitely like change, but I feel like the change is beneficial and more aligned with like career and what you want to be doing. Neptune's, gonna still be squaring your nodes and your Venus for a little while. So that's all, and Neptune square. You know all about the Neptune square.
Yeah.
You're in the Neptune square right now.
I'm like, is everybody in the chat in a Neptune square?
Yeah.
Mother Nature, we're all one. If we're not one world and one planet, then what are we? Wow, it's crazy. Are we flat or are we round?
I've never gone up to sea for myself, so I really don't know.
But when we looked out at the ocean, it looked pretty fucking round to me.
It looks pretty flat.
Sorry, Stacey. I know we're going. I'm trying to. Well, not that there's any. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and even Uranus on your Mars, which is your 10th house ruler, Stacey. Like, I feel like you're about to see some big shifts in just purpose, like what your purpose is. And with the eclipse and and then it's kind of gonna feel like it's changing, like the inner structure and the identity. You're going through a nice transformation right now. But I think overall it's gonna give you more authority and help you be more of a healer in the way that really, I think, not only stimulates you but keeps you very interested and helps you, communicate more with people and express and share information. And
yeah, what's Thursday? I want to know.
that's when we're doing our show.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Rob, where's your Mercury? Is your Mercury in Pisces? Where's it at? Where's your Mercury at, boo? And Stormhawk. I want to know where Stormhawk's Mercury and Rob's Mercury is.
Wishing you the best, Stacey.
Yes, Stacey. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted by this chat, but it's so entertaining. I love everybody. Right? We're all just sharing energy. Get giggles. I know. LOL.
Merlin's magic. Merlin's your wisdom.
Nice. Okay, so Stormhawk's got
It's
a
alchemy.
Mercury in Pisces. What about Rob? Because he said he's a Pisces. So is your Mercury in Pisces, Rob? I want to see if I got a 2 for 2. Check
You're welcome,
it
Stacey. Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, this has been fun. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm tired.
Oh.
Do you want to stay? I'm going to use the restroom. You can
Oh,
stay
yeah.
and talk and hang out.
Yeah. Go use the restroom, babe. Oh, you're
Careful.
assaulting me. You're pushing me
I
over.
didn't do anything to you. But careful if you push that desk too hard. It'll all come crash.
Yes, Stacey, love you. You're so intuitive and wise. Is it like 9:30 there now? Yeah, 9:31. 9:31. So, I know we're gonna sign off as soon as he gets back. You're not sure, Rob? Well, I'll tell you where it's at. What did you say? You're March 11th? Somebody said they're March 11th. And what year are you? I mean, we're all Pisces here, right? We're all in. Oh, okay. So if he's not up Lottie, then he can just watch the playback. Yeah. He can watch the playback, but he'll be part of the, Thursday. So I don't have Bryan did put it in the chat who we're going to do on Thursday. Cody, you're part of that. Cody is one of the participants for the chart that's there. And then, yeah, Lottie, you'll see it. So, going to see about Tucker being fired, LOL. Yeah. And then he'll be able to come back and watch it. So, for anybody that's like not in the right time zone and all that, at least they can come back and watch it. Uh-oh, am I not? What's going on here?
What? Just, there's no
83. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Rob, you're being very Piscean about your birth time and chart. You're being very 12th house right now, Rob. I'm so calling you out. Mercury in Pisces is a planetary position that influences the way people communicate, think, and perceive. Oh, no, I'm very, aware of that. Yeah. Yeah. Pisces power. Gotta love it. Do you have any last words, babe?
Nope. I'm done.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
All right. It's a wrap. Love you guys.
Peace.
We'll see you on Thursday.